let's kick it off. Ready for the weekend, can't get enough. Got my crew, Mike, Paul, Joyce, Lazy's laugh. Zach and Lily bring the fun, we're on the path. It's the Nintopics podcast ride. Electronic beats and friends by my side. Gaming news and tales we'll share. No better way to start a weekend fair. Turn it up, volume high. Nintendo vibes, flying sky. Press play, let's dive in deep. Catching all the secrets we keep. It's the Nintopics podcast ride. Electronic beats and friends by my side. Gaming news and tales we'll share. No better way to start a weekend flair. Controllers, quick stories flow. Laughs and smiles as we go. Every Friday night so bright. Nintopics podcast feels so right. Oh. From Mario to Zelda quests. Talking all the games we love the best. Choices, insights, Zach's big grin. Lily's got the news, let's begin. It's the Nintopics podcast ride. Electronic beats and friends by my side. Gaming news and tales we'll share. No better way to start a weekend flair. Controllers and stories flow. Laughs and smiles as we go. Oh. Every Friday night so bright. Nintopics podcast feels so right. Nintopic podcast, all things Nintendo. Yeah!
Wait, what's going on here? You got big... Is my mic on? Can you hear me? 1, 2, check mic.
Well, we can hear the music super loud.
Yeah, we hear you, but barely.
Well, that... it was supposed to be dancing music, but that thing just kicked on.
Can I just say one
Nice.
thing for the people watching before we do our normal beginning? And if you're listening, you're going to have to use your imagination. If everybody could just look at Mike's screen, Mario has clearly had a long week. Look at him slumped over on that chair. He is out cold.
Oh,
Hand on the stomach and everything.
Mamma mia.
Yeah, he's up.
Sammy.
He's past
Sleepy
that.
boy.
It was me.
Hey, it's
Not anymore.
Friday for him.
Not anymore.
Sorry. Hello, Paul. He's in the chat.
All right, I guess that's it. This is it? Or that?
Pikachu?
No, that's not it.
Pikachu.
We haven't officially started the podcast yet.
No, we're getting there.
Not
I
yet.
swear.
No, that's not it. That's not
It's me. Not anymore.
It's never ending. Don't let it get the best of you. And all the fake friends just keep pretending. That's how the little things get you.
Yep.
Paralyzing every part. You feel it taking over you. To the center of your core. The lies are getting overused. When you are under the weather, getting caught in the storm. Do you remember? I told you if we dance in the blizzard, we are not getting cold. So keep on dancing.
What are we doing?
We're maybe having a podcast.
Probably.
Probably.
Getting there.
We will see. I swear, no matter what I do, my hat just looks crooked. Like, it's like, oh, this side's lower, so I go to fix it. And now it's like even more low.
All right, we're officially starting right now.
Okay. Oh, wait, there we go. Okay.
This is the weekend music.
Forever.
There we go.
We need to put it on like a shortcut.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Got my giant mug here. Try it.
Oh yeah, we're having coffee now. Oh, it's water.
All right, now officially. How do I lower that? I won't lower.
No idea.
So, for Halloween, when I had the Nacho Libre mask on and I'm trying to drink out of this,
Yeah.
because it was such a hard material, I could not like easily get it into my mouth. I was like,
All right, I love my cup. I do love my cup, but man, like it's so thick. This part right here, that when you're drinking, it feels like I can see it come out of the sides. I'm like, I mean, this is nice and everything, but I think it was meant for more like for a prop.
mhm.
Because you can't really drink from this side because
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I agree. That's why when I saw this one, I was like, I need this. It reminded me so much of the mugs that you see in Skyward Sword. Like yeah.
That's a good
Those
hot
kind of
chocolate
styles.
mug.
yeah, the Rapunzel
For
one,
sure.
the one from Rapunzel. When you go to Disney, they have like this place, Gaston's Tavern. They have that
Mhm.
mug and they fill it up with like this kind of thing. It's not butterbeer. That's another theme park. That the stuff and stuff. Welcome to the
stuff is
podcast, guys. welcome. You are here. It is Friday night. We have made it to the podcast, and something is wrong with my audio thingy. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the Nintendo app for background music so that we can have something playing. Let's see what we can have here. What do we have? The heck is this?
Let's be in the chat if you can guess. Put them in the chat.
Nice. What is his? Okay, that works.
Can you turn it down just a little bit?
Yeah, I feel like it's super loud.
Yeah, it's pretty loud.
Is it loud now?
It is.
Yeah.
It
A
has
little
been
bit.
ever since you started putting music on.
It should be like kind of in the background.
Yeah, but the thing is that my thing here is all the way down. So that's what's weird about it. It's like it's all the way to the.
It's actually good right now. We don't. Yeah.
Nah,
Perfect.
I'm probably deaf because I can't hear it now. I can't hear anything of it. Anyway, moving along, we are here. It's Friday night, the Nintopics podcast, and we got some stuff to talk about. Nintendo went nuts over the past week, and we have a lot to go over. Nintendo had a meeting. We had a reveal from Furukawa. You know what? He's no longer Furukawa. He is now known as the Godfather. Now on, Shintaro Furukawa is being referred as the Godfather of Nintendo. Okay? And he spoke to Twitter. He goes to Twitter and he just drops news back and forth. He does what he wants, man. He does what he wants, right? He breaks the record. He breaks the rules. And yeah, we're going to talk about it today. And today we also got a little hint from one of the leakers about something potentially coming to Nintendo Switch very soon or announced regarding this thing right here, this little symbol right there. That just happened today. So we're going to talk about it as our second topic. It's going to be pretty exciting.
Oh, we're gonna make a lot of people happy with that little tease. If
Right.
it's true.
Yeah. So without further ado, but before I have to introduce the All-Star cast for today, starting with the one and the only Zelda's favorite auntie, Joycey J. How you doing, Joycey?
Yo, good evening, everyone. I'm Joycey J.
Loving the hair.
And I like Zelda, and I think you should like Zelda too. It's been a rough week for one reason or another, and I just think we all deserve some Zelda.
Yeah.
Some Zelda. You should go get some Zelda in your life. There's lots of games on the Switch itself, and if you have NSO and NSO expansion, there are lots of classic games. So I just recommend Zelda in these times. Actually, at all times, but especially during times like these. So yeah, get you some Zelda.
Zelda's good. Zelda's good all the time. All right, and then we got the Cap, the Zach Attack. What's up, Zach?
What up? What up? What up? I have had a pretty busy week. I had a 24-hour workday. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Had to drive about 4 hours each way for this trip, and of course, it rained. It started raining as soon as I left, and then rained the entire time across multiple states. And then I get there, I start unloading my gear. The rain stops. It's a beautiful day. I work many hours, and then I say, all right, time to head 4 hours back across the country. Start driving. It starts raining again, and rains the entire drive.
The universe against
across multiple states. I was like, come on, man. But I thought that was really funny. It made the drive very eventful. But yeah, no, it has been a busy week. November has been the most work of my life and will continue to be. December is already booked up for even more work than November is, so that's pretty cool. And I found out the movie that I am working on next month, we have come much closer to selecting our actress. And so it is either going to be an actress from a video game movie that I like, or an actress from the MCU. So that's also pretty cool. But then I found out another actor who is on there is somebody that I grew up watching a lot. And so I'm very, very, very excited to work very closely with these people for weeks at a time.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
And that's been my week. So Nintendo. Oh, I just used one of those online things where you get the 2 games for $50 each from Nintendo.
Oh, really?
To get brothership. So
nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And taking it over to Lilly from Hyrule. How you doing, Lilly?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. It has been a very busy week as usual. But the good thing is that I got my vacation approved for December. So yay, good for that. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it's gonna be like that for until the end of the year. So yeah, fun times. I finally got my car fixed, and I'm very, very excited for that. Yay! After a month and a half, but it was totally worth it.
Yeah,
it was necessary. So yeah, now I don't know exactly what I'm gonna be heading to first, but we shall see. And in terms of video games, I haven't really played that much. But I just got Mario and Luigi Brothership. Nintendo of Canada sent me the code, so yay! I'll be trying it out. I'm not very sure exactly how many streams I'm going to be doing, but I'm going to start on Sunday. So I haven't really played it. I haven't really tried it, so let's see how it goes. Oh, and the other thing is that I was very confused when I went into my Nintendo eShop, and for some reason, I was looking for Mario Party Jamboree, and then I just realized that it said purchased. And I was like, I never purchased this one. What are you talking about? And then after the fact that we exchanged information, me and my boyfriend, and we realized that someone bought it and it's on our Switch. So I have it. So that's another game that I need to play. But yeah. So I have two games to go through this weekend. Not Nintendo related, but tomorrow is Arcane Act 1, and I'm very, very excited for that. So I'll be watching that tomorrow. And there was going to be another thing that I was going to mention, but I completely forgot. So it's not important. But yeah.
You can mention at the end of the podcast if you remember.
Yeah, but very happy to be here. Another Friday. Yay, we made it.
Yay, awesome. And I'm super happy you got your car fixed. That is awesome because I know how hard it ended.
Oh yeah.
And stuff. So yeah, that's awesome. And if you have an additional code for Mario Party Jamboree, hey, I take donations, And
yeah, no, sadly, Nintendo of Canada did not send me that one. So
all right, and I'm gonna send it over to the Gale Force. Just popped into the podcast. How you doing, Paul?
Good. I blew in here, much like Southern California right now. With
Oh, that's right. My mom told
50
me it's
mile per
crazy
hour
right now.
winds, blowing everything every which way in the backyard.
Mhm.
All leaves off any tree you can imagine into the pool.
The gale force sounds like you're actual a weather reporter.
Paul the Gale Force here, and
Yeah.
in California right now.
It sounds like you're talking about the weather, and I'm reading your name. Like, wait, it says the gale force. So, he's talking about the weather. Like,
Yep.
So it's been windy. It's been busy. But good. Gaming wise, I've been playing Mortal Kombat 1 this week. Like it's the only thing that I didn't have much time. The week just went by so fast, and just a little bit of here and there picking up some Peacemaker because I like playing as John Cena, and that's pretty fun. And Omni Man, it's cool. So
cool.
I played it as it before, but when it initially came out, those new DLC drops, including what is his name from The Boys? Why am I thinking of that? Homelander. Like, yeah, when those three came out as they did, I played as they dropped, but just not enough time. And so, like now, when I have chance, let me do some more. I'll never fully remember. That's the one thing with Mortal Kombat and me. I'll never remember all of these characters' fatalities, and I'll always have a little bit of a difficulty when it comes to close up versus medium. Because if you played Mortal Kombat before, fatalities are done at far, medium, or close. Far, easy enough. Medium, close, there's that little divide, and memorizing all of them, always struggle. Moves are okay, but other stuff, tough. But anyways, that's my week. Lots of wind and a little MK. I'm good. Thanks.
That's awesome. That's good, man. Did I get over to you, Zach? My brain has been like very.
You did, and I forgot one thing, and I was like, okay, as soon as he finishes, I'm gonna be like, oh, by the way, blah blah blah.
Go ahead, drop it.
As soon as this podcast is over, I am going to be streaming Super Smash Bros. Ultimate with viewers.
Nice.
So anybody who wants to play Smash when the podcast is done, let's go play some Smash.
Let's do it. Awesome. That's the Nintopics post show with Zach the Hendrix playing Smash over on his channel. So make sure
pod party.
The post pod party.
Yep.
Sounds like a toilet kind of thing.
It's after you eat the Tide Pod, you just start.
iPod?
iPod. Post pod party.
I heard Tide Pod party. That's a different kind of party.
Pod.
Man, I was looking for.
Pie.
It's like the other day I was looking for. This is a funny story. Happened this week. I was on Facebook Marketplace, and I was looking for because I'm moving now, but I want to get myself a recording booth in my new place because I'm gonna start recording my music again. And so I went to see this guy on Facebook Marketplace. I saw it looks nice on the outside. When I got there, it wasn't a booth. It was a porta potty. And I'm like, can you just say porta potty, not booth? It was a porta potty, and I opened it. I'm like, why is there a toilet? Why is there a toilet in there?
Well, that's for when you're in the really long Zoom meeting. You know, that's pretty standard for voice stuff.
Yeah.
No one's none the wiser. You're
porta potty.
Oh, I remember when I was doing I was working for tech support, customer care for a company, and we had a lot of USB adapters, but we were told to call them USB dongles. So people were like, well, "What? What's that?" I'm like, "It's the USB little thing, you connect to your computer." Oh, okay. So that word for me, it's like it was so weird to say it, but anyways.
Yeah, that was an Apple slang word that came up and it kind of took off everywhere.
I know.
Yeah. So yeah, that happened. The the recording porta potty, and so. I've had a pretty good week. I've had a pretty good week doing a lot of stuff for the new house. We're also selling my mother-in-law's house, and she's coming over with us. So that's a good thing, So we're just getting ready. With that, I've been playing The Legend of Zelda. A Link to the Past. After finishing the first one, I'm going to go through all the top-down Zeldas from the beginning. So I finished the first one. I'm going to the next one now. I'm halfway through that one. when it comes to video games, I think that's it. Oh, I've been playing this game. I started playing it today actually. They gave me a code for it's that game that Europa. So far, it's been pretty good. You know, at the beginning of the game, it's just pretty quiet, but then it picks up and you get into a story, and it feels pretty good. You know, kind of open world. I like games like that. But that is my story when it comes to gaming. How about we get into the news today because the Godfather, the Godfather, he took the Twitter. He took the Twitter. By the way, Paul, we're calling
I,
Okawa the Godfather. Okay.
I heard that. I was on the side watching before I could hop in, but
Yeah.
what
So
a week! What a week! For
yeah,
college
he,
and everything.
he is the Godfather. I mean, nobody drops news like him. He does it whenever he wants. Fiscal meeting. I'll talk about it. You know what, Twitter? Here you go. Right. And then we thought that the news was over, right? And I know there was there was a lot of rumor. Well, Nintendo will not do anything after the 5th, or we're not doing anything on election day, or we're not doing anything this or here or that or this, or Nintendo will not jeopardize this or holiday season. Oh, you know what? Everything out the window. Like just threw the sink out the window at that time, and he just went into the Twitter and announced backwards compatibility for Nintendo Switch successor, which we don't know the name yet, but we are all assuming it's Nintendo Switch 2. But he confirmed backwards compatibility, opening the door for you to buy as many games as you want for the holiday season, including Black Friday. I mean, today we had Nintendo Live Report, and I went through all of the sales, incredible sales that are going on right now on the eShop. Literally games that you buy for $2, like literally $2.
Nice.
Good games, right? And so with backwards compatibility confirmed, my friends, you guys have buy games. Just buy games. Build up your library. Another thing another thing he did was say again a Godfather move when he was asked, "Hey, aren't you worried that by saying stuff you're gonna hurt the sales of the holiday season?" Like, we're past that. I'm just paraphrasing. We're past that. I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. He's that kind of guy. He is the Godfather, by the way. And so the main topics for our first part of the podcast is that for Okawa, backwards compatibility. What else did you confirm? Let me go over the show notes here real quick. NSO. What's with NSO? Oh yeah, NSO of course is moving forward. That part was always kind of assumed just because he said that Nintendo accounts were moving forward, so we kind of maybe that wasn't fully understood. It was a rumor to them, but he did confirm NSO was moving forward to Nintendo Switch Online as well. So Nintendo Switch, we have the meeting, of course. We have backwards compatibility, and we have, you know what? I even put a possible trailer. You know why? Because it's, at this point, they could just drop it at any moment. It's not like they're waiting on anybody. It's not like they're worried about the sales dipping or whatever. He's put it perfectly. People who are interested in buying a Switch, who are planning to buy one, are going to buy it anyway. Whether it's for a child, whether it's for a loved one, whether it's for somebody in particular. So I'm going to go over, before passing it on to the all-star cast that we have today, I'm going to go over what the highlights of the fiscal meeting we have here, and of course we also got the Q&A. Guys, the Q&A is fun to read. Some of the questions are really fun to read, and we're going to go over it very, very quickly here. Let me go ahead and just share my screen, and I think this is it. You guys see it? Do you guys see it?
Yes, we see their screen.
Okay, I'm not covering anybody. Cool. And you see how big everything is? I made everything big on purpose. Look at that. Look at that. It's huge. All right. So consolidated financial highlights. There's a lot of numbers here. Nintendo sold a lot of stuff. That's what you got to take from this, right? A lot of stuff. Let's go over to down right here. This is consolidated financial forecast. What's happening? What they think is happening in the future. And then we have current state of Nintendo. All right. By the way, this is available for anyone to view on the Nintendo website here. We got 146 million units, 1.3 billion software, which is just very close to that 1 to 10 ratio that Paul was looking for. Right, Paul?
Yeah,
Very close.
Close to. It's so close to 1 to 9,
Mm-hmm.
and it eventually will be, I think, 1 to 10. Right now, GameCube takes the lead, followed by Wii.
Yeah.
I made a list of that, which is pretty fun to look back on.
Mm-hmm.
But Nintendo Switch should become the new number one.
Yeah, because it'll actually be with that backwards compatibility announcement. It should just push the sale the number for the software even more, especially now in Black Friday. So Black Friday will have crazy sales even on first party games. And it's not part of the topics today, but Amazon is back with Nintendo. They kissed up, they made up, and they reinstated Nintendo on Amazon. So now you can buy pre-order. You can buy games directly from Nintendo that ships from the Amazon, from the Amazon kind of factory thingy. So you can actually get it either the next day or in 2 days or whatever. So that's a big piece of news there. So Black Friday, go to Amazon.com. We have links in the Discord, affiliate links that support the channel. We also got links at the description of the video if you guys want to go ahead and go to Amazon for that as well.
So, speaking of supporting the channel and links, Boo Mini has gifted a membership to Ronaldo Sales.
Woohoo!
So thank you, Boo Mini, and welcome Ronaldo to
you.
the Like Odyssey channel membership family.
Thank you.
And speaking of helping out the channel, if you could drop a like, that's an easy way to help boost up this podcast, and more people will see through the algorithm. Oh, there's that many people watching, and that many people are liking it. That's good. So thank you.
Yep.
Awesome. Josie. Is he here?
Let me see it. That's a nice
I
chart.
forgot now. Go ahead.
All right, so we got Nintendo Switch users, 127 million. Now, Paul, clarify this. This is the active users, right? Right now, the active users is 127 million. They're not counting the 3 units, but this is the active users that are playing right now on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, that's outstanding. That's the number that before I was like, you know what, when they updated it 122, 120, 125, I did that percentage of like, this is the amount of people that are still playing at least once a month throughout the year of that 146. And that percentage is huge. No system has ever had this much loyalty this long into the game.
That's insane.
They're doing something right.
Yeah.
Paul, I am curious. Where would the 3DS... I feel like handheld systems would have more loyalty as far as people sticking with them longer than home systems, just because of the convenience. That's just kind of something I thought about while you're talking. I have no clue if that's true or not, but you might just happen to know offhand because you know every number, it seems like, offhand.
I don't remember the number off the top of my head. I dug it up a while back because of this thing, and 3DS and DS had longer retention towards the end before their successors came. Well, if you want to count Nintendo Switch as a semi-successor to 3DS, but 3DS definitely as a successor to DS, then like Wii U and Wii, but it wasn't anywhere this high. Like this is like, I want to say 86%.
Yeah.
We could do the math, but this is like 86% of that user base. 3DS, I mean, even without going off that number off the top of my head, I know it was considerably lower because towards the end, how many people were I picking up randomly on Street Pass?
Yeah.
It went down a lot.
Yeah. Every E3, it was crazy.
It was on me, and like when I was walking through Target or the mall or walking through Walmart, it made more sense. At E3, there was obviously going to be people on it, but just non-normal gaming-centric places, it was popping up all the time. And like in the last couple of years, that was just one sign of not as many people are out and about. Doesn't mean they're not playing it at home, but still. Yeah, so I forgot the number, but it wasn't this good. And I'm like, not even like 50%, not like 25%.
Yeah, and to add to that, you have to understand that the Switch is also a mobile console. So basically,
Hybrid.
yeah, it's a hybrid console. So it's kind of obvious that anybody who was into the mobile systems, of course, they migrate to the Nintendo Switch right away. Having the ability to have two consoles in one. Back in the day, not everybody. If some people have to choose between having a mobile and a console just because of the finances, now one person can for $299 just get both in one. So that really actually helped a lot, and I think that speaks to when Nintendo, they actually go over this, and part of it of they actually compare Wii U and the 3DS compared to Nintendo Switch side by side, and somewhere in here or another PDF. So this is Nintendo's holiday season lineup right here. What you're looking at is Nintendo's season holiday lineup. As you can notice there's no mention of that fitness game that comes out in December at all, because I think that was just like a game they just want to, okay, we need to get rid of it. Let's put it in December, right? In this, put it out there. Zelda Echoes of Wisdom still selling pretty good. Mario Party Jamboree, the biggest and fastest selling Mario Party ever, which is awesome. Mario and Luigi Brothership, that game came out yesterday. I will pick it up at the end of the month when I get paid. My paycheck.
In the mail because I didn't have time to go to the store.
Yeah. So amiibos, we got the amiibo for Splatoon, and I'm guessing these represent amiibos, right? Not that just these particular the Splatoon ones. And of course, we have the bundles that Nintendo has available, which are more than these. I went to my local Target and I went to my local Walmart. I saw more bundles. They have the Zelda one. They have about 2 of these Animal Crossing ones still with a game, 3 months of Nintendo Switch Online, and a case, which is very, very good. It's a good way to get your kids into the, the cozy genre era. It would be cool if this came with the game, but it comes with 12 months of Nintendo Switch Online, plus expansion pack for one user, which is pretty good. And of course, the Mario Wonder pack here comes with the OLED in the white and the Mario Wonder game, and the traditional Mario Kart bundle that we get every single year is back again with the OLED. So that is basically that for that. Moving forward here, of course, Nintendo with their third-party support. There is a lot of games out there. You guys can see it. You guys see anything you're looking forward to?
I want to try Big Mickey. I haven't tried it. And I also want the Sonic and Shadow because I've heard wonderful things about it. I'm very excited to try that one. I know that those ones are available already. Dragon Quest is actually next week. Is it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that one definitely is in my bucket list. And Yakuza, why not?
Yakuza, yeah. Let's see here. I think Horizon. I'm looking forward to Lego Horizon just because I like.
It looks very funny. Yeah.
I played the 2 Horizon games on PlayStation 5, so it'll be funny to see the parody version of Lego because they take everything, they parody everything, making fun of everything, so it's funny. The Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest. I keep saying HD. It's HD 2D. Am I saying it right? Is it 2D?
I think so.
No mistake on that one.
HD 2D or 2D HD is you're 50-50.
Right. Josie's looking forward to that one, right, Josie? The HD 2D, the Dragon Quest one?
I haven't played Dragon Quest, so I'm not really sure. It's one of those things I kind of have to probably catch somebody playing online and kind of see how I feel about it.
Yeah.
But I'm always excited just for games in general because just because it doesn't catch my eye now doesn't mean it never will.
Of course, yeah. I'm intrigued because that Dragon Quest HD 2D has the same art style as Bravely Default. You know, that 2D HD, 2D 3D kind of. 2D 3D? Am I saying it right? I'm saying
2D HD. Octopath Traveler.
HD 2D.
Yeah.
Octopath Traveler, which I'm always hyping up. Like always, everybody should play that. Part 1 and Part 2. Yeah, that's in that style. I said, even though I know, I don't know when or if they're going to remake A Link to the Past, 'cause I personally still think it doesn't need it. Yeah. But if they were to do it, I wouldn't be against that art style because I would actually really love to see that because I think it still keeps the charm of the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
The way Link to the Past used to look. And then I also hope, even though it's technically not canon, actually it's really not canon at all, but I hope that we could see like Link with the pink hair. I know that's not what it was supposed to be, and it was a system limitation at the time. But I think we've all accepted that Link is has pink hair, so I want to keep that going, and that would pop in 2D HD.
Yeah, I agree. That would be fantastic to see. They can
amiibo.
Yeah, they can put Link with pink hair. Maybe an armor that he gets kind of gives him strength, and his hair turns pink, like a super saying.
Nope, it's just supposed to quietly just be there. I forgot which is it. It's the blue male, I think it is, or is it which one is it, Lily? I forgot. I don't know how I forgot because it's my favorite game. But I think it's the blue male when you get that outfit, because it contrasts with the system limitations, whatever. It makes his hair appear pink. Canonically, it's still regular blonde, but I'm like, I just want Nintendo to just go with it. Give us an amiibo, or if Link just has like a streak of pink hair, I'm down with it. Just go with it, Nintendo, and give us an amiibo with pink hair Link.
Joycey, if they don't, I will make you a custom amiibo with.
Oh my God, will you really?
Yes.
See, I want one anyway. I don't care if they don't. I want one anyway because now it's from Zach. So it's
I mean, if they release like a regular one of those amiibos, but his hair's not pink, I'll get it and repaint it and send it to you.
Pink.
Thank you. I want that in my life.
That's a great gesture for sure.
Yeah.
That's a gift for a lifetime.
Yeah, for real. And what is this? This Romantic Saga 2 is another game that people are looking forward to a lot. I keep hearing that people are excited for about that one. What is this Fairy on there? Fairy?
Oh, Fairy Tail.
It's Fairy Tail.
An anime that ended a few years back.
Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of games here from third-party developers that people are looking forward to a lot. I just know Mario. I mean, Mickey, Just Dance. I'm not gonna buy the Fit Boxing, although I need it. I'm just gonna leave it there. The Dragon Quest I'm gonna get for sure, and Horizon on this one here. Very, very cool.
Okay, I still haven't bought it.
I
still haven't bought it yet, but Ace Attorney Investigations. For Ace Attorney fans, if you played the original trilogy is straight fire. This is kind of what happens with his name's not Edward, Edgeworth. Miles Edgeworth, that's the main character. It's not Phoenix Wright, but it shows kind of his journey. And when I tell you the cases are so good. They're so good. So yeah, y'all need that in your life too. So get you some Zelda, get you some Octopath, and get you some Ace Attorney. The Ace Attorney games are also all on the Switch, completely remastered as well, as well as Apollo Justice too.
Yeah.
Can I admit something about? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
So I know some people really eat up internet drama. And it's like, oh, so and so's arguing with so and so, even if it's complete strangers. I'm like, not really about that normally. However, do you guys know about have you guys seen the Ace Attorney bot on X or Twitter?
Yes. I think I follow him.
That is the only way I digest internet drama. For those of you who don't know, if there's like you can tell a bot on Twitter and you can be like, Ace Attorney-fy this. And it'll take all of the comments in a thread of like people arguing or whatever and turn it into an Ace Attorney animation. And it'll be like, objection! And then like the word bubbles will fill with what they were saying in their thread. And it's so funny.
Oh, wait, I don't follow that one. Okay, you have to... afterwards
I'll have to
you
send
gotta
it
show
to
me
you.
Please do, because I want to follow them, because they're... Oh my God, like
That'll be hilarious.
I don't get into real arguments with people on Twitter because it's like, I don't know you. I don't know what your point of view is. So why am I going to argue with you? I don't care enough. But like when it's somebody I kind of like low key know, we're just having like really fun, petty arguments. Like I really want to put that in there just to see how that works out.
Yeah, I remember there was my first interaction with it was like somebody, on the internet, people be arguing over the stupidest things that like don't even matter. Someone like posted
I like waffles.
Picture
Are you saying you hate pancakes?
Yes. Someone like posts a selfie and they're like, just got home from the gym, craziest workout ever. And then someone else was like, you are bone dry. You don't look like you worked out at all and your hair's perfect. And then someone else was like, well, they could have showered already and blah, blah, blah. Well, she said this. Well, you can see in the reflection of her glasses. And then someone was just like, Ace Attorney-fy this. And all of a sudden it just starts.
Ace Attorney-fy this.
It's like, Your Honor. And then the word bubbles start to fill up. And it's like, objection. She could have taken a shower and dried off. And it's just like the stupidest thing. And I love it so much.
That sounds like the end of Legally Blonde. If you've seen that movie, girl's hair got her in trouble. That's how she got caught. That's all I'll say. If you haven't seen that.
Is it clean or is it just takes everything?
Is what?
Is it clean or does it just take everything? Like does it filter bad words or just takes everything?
Oh, I think it just takes whatever's in the text and just picks it up.
Okay. Yeah, because I wanted to stream it to see if we can just go over like some drama, but no, it's okay. All right. Well,
I'll find for next week. This is for you podcast people. I'll find like my 5 favorite or whatever.
Okay.
I'll go look for some good ones.
That's good.
Okay, cool.
All right, so we got some titles announced for 2025 here, and this is also an exciting list for a lot of people. There is the Bath and Beyond Metroid version here in the corner. We got
Bath and Beyond.
We got another RPG here real quick. Guilty Gear, of course. Xenoblade Chronicles X on.
It's gonna be my first Xenoblade game.
Yep, and it's coming in March, so you have to look forward to that. I would suggest, guys, Black Friday. I'm telling you. Keep an eye out. Because today I just saw a pre-order. Actually, the cat game, what's it called again? Stray, is on sale right now. It's for pre-order and it's already on sale. So make sure you can go pick up. If you want to play that game on Nintendo Switch, remember that it's also compatible with Nintendo Switch 2. It might run better on that. And if there is any game you've heard, hey, that doesn't run too good on Switch, pick it up on sale. It's running good. It's going to run better on Nintendo Switch 2. We got Pokemon Legend ZA or ZA or Arizona. I've heard it many ways. So I've heard there's many ways. It's coming out. We don't know yet. It's in the calendar for 2025. We got the 5th or 6th or 7th remake of Donkey Kong Country Returned HD, and that is coming out in January as well. We got this Hello Kitty port. This one was exclusive to Apple TV. Or Apple, the game thingy. Wow, I worked for the company that I can't remember the name. Our Apple Arcade, and now it's coming to Nintendo Switch and other platforms as well. It's like an Animal Crossing, but with Hello Kitty characters, which is like another cozy game. Hadouken, I call that Hadouken. That's what I call it. Every time I look at this name, that's what I think about. Hadouken. And it's coming there. I know it's Hadouken, but it says Sudoku. So it's
Suikoden.
I always think of Sudoku.
So do I.
Yeah.
So do I.
Yeah.
And we got what else? We got the Guardians of Azuma. We got of course the other one. I was thinking Xenoblade. Dragon Quest 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. I would say right. HD 2D. Did I say it right this time?
You said it right the first time, I think.
HD 2D.
2D HD?
HD 2D XDDS.
HD 2X. Okay. So yeah, we got Dragon Quest 3 coming out in a couple 4 days. But then next year we got Dragon Quest 1 and 2. And apparently they are coming out in the order in which you play them. So Dragon Quest 3 is actually at the beginning of the series, which is very Marvel MCU-ish. Altair Yumia, I'm sorry if I mispronounced it for you fans who are Altair alternative. So there you have another game there. Let's continue with this thingy here. Many new titles are planned to be released next year as well. The games shown here have been announced for release in 2025. There is one little thing here that gets me very excited, guys. Okay? I know we're all thinking about Nintendo Switch 2, but this second paragraph. Who can read that? Who wants to read it from our amazing cast?
I can.
Okay,
Nintendo Switch. Current state of Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch is being played by over 100 million people worldwide.
Mhm.
So that's active players.
Yes.
A steady stream of new titles is planned for the holiday season and upcoming year.
Yeah. So that confirms that Nintendo Switch will still be getting games in 2025. Yay! I wish I can find a little clappy thingy, but I can't find it. So yeah, the clappy thingy. We're gonna get new games on Nintendo Switch in 2025, and I keep saying that, guys. Then they mentioned it a while back. The Godfather said that we'll continue to serve the Nintendo Switch with video games in 2025, and so this is just a confirmation of what he said. And if they brought back Xenoblade Chronicles X from the Wii U, we got hope. We have hope that there are 2 ports that might be coming to Nintendo Switch.
Diddy Kong Racing.
3.
Oh, no, it's not that one.
3 games.
Hey, I'm down for it.
3 games. I was talking about Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker, and The Legend of Zelda, the Princess of the Horses, of the cows, and the guy that turns into a dog.
Into a dog?
This is like that Echoes of Wisdom translation.
He turns into a dog.
Then the Link turns into dog. And
Dog, and he howls at the moon. He howls.
I have no idea what Zelda that is. That must be one of the CDI games, which we don't.
Look at what is that called? Ace Attornify it.
On Twitter,
Yeah,
what I
Jack
followed was
Street.
Ace Attorney Bot.
He needs the Ace Attorney bot for what Zelda game is this? Well, Joycey says she doesn't know. Mike is a dog right now. Lily is the one that's going. Oh.
Objection. Like seriously, I object to all of that.
You know the game Link turns into dog. Zelda can find walks in the park, picks up.
No, that's not any Zelda game, Mike. That is not any Zelda game.
So what happens if when Link turns into a dog?
He doesn't turn into a dog.
It's not a dog.
What is he then?
What?
He's a canine.
You know, say whatever you want to say, Mike. Go ahead, just go for it.
Is it a wolf?
WOOF, a wolf.
Yeah, he's a canine.
He's not a dog.
It's a canine. He's a dog family. He's a doggy. Some people raise wolves as their doggies. And so does he have a collar?
And then they die because
Does
they
he
get
have a
eaten.
collar? Does he? I don't think he does, but now I can picture it.
With the Triforce on his collar.
Linky is a good boy. That's what it says.
Good boy, Linky. Good boy, Linky. And it's like, Zelda. Anyway, that is what's Princess Twilight.
Close enough.
The Princess of the Twilights. And so hopefully those games will come over to Nintendo Switch as ports because the doors are open. Nintendo are open to bringing games to Switch, not only from Nintendo Wii U, but also from 3DS. So we might be getting the Firefox, the Star Fox game, and the other one, the Kid Icarus Uprising as well. So those are games that are potentially coming to Nintendo Switch. Structural changes surrounding our dedicated video game platform business. Okay, let's move on forward. And here we have the what we were talking about earlier, right? How Nintendo went ahead and kind of took the mobile and the house, I guess, and merged it into this right here, into this amazing, beautiful masterpiece that we see on the left side.
Why are they doing that to us? I see Twilight Princess in the cover.
I see it too. I'm like, man, come on.
Why, Nintendo? Why?
It's a hint.
And also, these games are also very portable to, portable. I mean, they can port them as HD versions to the Nintendo Switch. Pokemon Moon, Pokemon Sun, Metroid Prime Federation, Animal Crossing New Leaf. Those games are very portable, And of course, we have Mario Party 10. I'm guessing they have Mario Party. They got enough Mario Parties already. But we got that Twilight Princess here with the little doggy in the in the thing here, and the horse. So this is the horse and the doggy. Are they friends, by the way? Is the horse and the doggy friends? I should write a story about that. And then we have we have all of the video games. Well, not all of the video games. A representation of all of the Nintendo Switch games that have been out ever since the launch of Nintendo Switch. I mean, look at this graph. Compare that with any other company. They have never revealed this many first party games in 1 year. 2021, Nintendo came back with Avengers after 2020 and just released all these amazing games, including my favorite, Bowser's Fury. A quick question for you guys: which was your favorite release year out of all this?
All of them. I ain't you.
I'm torn between 2021 and 2023.
2017 has my favorite game of all time, so I have to give a lot of credit to 17 because Breath of the Wild is that year.
Yeah,
new IP in ARMS. We saw future expanded potential in Splatoon 2, which even though it wasn't a whole lot more than Splatoon, in some ways it really carried it forward.
Yeah.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, like we saw the future potential of that series far beyond just the Wii U version. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, beautiful RPG. Mario Odyssey, I think it might have become my new favorite 3D Mario of all time, or interchangeable. I think it might be the number one though. And Kingdom Battle, like a nice third-party offering with our first-party characters. I think 17, but like if I go over it too long, because there's so many good years in here that I could almost do that same thing, or probably could do that same thing with all of them. But I got to give it to 17 because it's got my new favorite game of all time.
Yeah. I mean, it for a year with only 9 games, it is a crazy year. Good launch.
Yeah. I have to agree with Paul on that one because even though I was not very convinced by Breath of the Wild, it happened almost the same as Twilight Princess. I know that a lot of people did not like Twilight Princess when it originally came out. Breath of the Wild was also the case for, I would say, Zelda, players. But for new players, of course, it was a wonderful game. No wonder why it got the Game of the Year, right? But for me, it was kind of the experience of going to E3, especially of visiting the Nintendo booth and being able to play the demo directly there, and going into an actual shrine, which we did not know exactly what they were at the very beginning because no information was shared or anything like that, but they actually built a real shrine for you to go through and walk through it. And it was a bunch of a year where I feel that I got pretty much blown away by it. And then it started to grow on me. And I could easily go with 2023 because of Tears of the Kingdom, but honestly, that was the only game that I was kind of expecting for 2023. And even though it was kind of my favorite, it wasn't as revolutionary as Breath of the Wild because it was Tears of the King. Breath of the Wild's done better only. That's the way I see it. But still, Breath of the Wild is there. But I could definitely go with 2021 because of Metroid Dread. Only because of Metroid Dread, for me, that would be like the winner. And we had also another Zelda game, which was Skyward Sword. And Skyward Sword was, I'm sorry, and I apologize in advance, but it was my least favorite. The reason why it was my least favorite was because of the controllers. So it was pretty much a great gift and opportunity for us to get the Skyward Sword for the Switch and being able to use your controller instead of using the actual motion controls and stuff. I did play it with the motion control though, but I have to say that it's a very enhanced experience compared to the Wii. So
Yeah.
it was huge. If no one has, if you have not played Skyward Sword, whoever's listening or watching this, please do so, and especially for the Switch. So that'll be the reason why I'll be leaning a little bit more towards 2021 in my case.
Nice. Anybody else want to pitch in? Pitch in?
Yeah, I know. For me, I was trying to decide between 2017 and 2018, specifically because 2018 has Smash, and also too, it's just got a lot of good games. But Breath of the Wild, whoo, and Mario Kart, whoo, and so
Mario Odyssey, woohoo!
Yeah, Mario Odyssey is my least favorite 3D Mario. But yeah, that's the only Mario game I've walked away from. I felt like it was a 10. But compared to the other Mario games, my expectations weren't really met. And I know that's a hot take. But
get out of here, Zach.
Listen, I it's not my favorite Mario game either. So I can see where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm. I feel like all right. I'm gonna jump off the Mario Odyssey train in a second. But I feel like there's so many moons, right? But like it's like walk 10 feet. Oh, you just got 3 moons while you were walking. And I'm like, what? Come on. Like, I just fall through that no matter what happens. Anyways. But yeah, and the 2024 would be tough because Tears of the Kingdom, in a vacuum, I feel like is somehow the best game ever made. But outside of the vacuum, I feel like it should have been bigger than it was as far as cutscenes and story goes. Yeah. And so I got to go back to Breath of the Wild, give Breath of the Wild the edge. You throw Mario Kart and 1-2 Switch in there because I get a lot of time out of those two, and I think 2017's taking it for me.
Pretty cool. All right, awesome. And then Joycey.
I already picked. I said all of them.
Yeah,
really can't.
She said
okay,
all of them.
I don't think I can choose because, again, you know, I know everything's a journey. It seems like these days, but my gaming journey resumed a lot. Through Switch because I was there from launch and I said I really want to pay attention to directs. I want to pay attention to what's coming out. I want to broaden my horizons, all that good jazz. And so while of course Zelda is always going to be my favorite thing out of every year, it was really seeing that full-fledged trailer at the presentation for the Switch that I was like, oh God, it's going to be good. This is going to be good. It's going to be a good gaming cycle or whatever. But you know, I just even though nobody likes to talk about how Breath of the Wild is really just Miyamoto's original vision of Zelda 1.
Yeah.
Ding 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 ding.
Thank you kindly, sir.
Sorry, I've been in trouble for that take. So,
but it's true.
And he said it himself.
It is true, but he said that. Yeah, and he said that years ago. You know, as well, even before like Breath of the Wild. That's what was in his head back in you know the 1980s. That's what. But we didn't have the technology that we have now. But seeing Zelda in that kind of limelight, seeing it the biggest it could get, and I'm like, I know good things are going to come. And that's really what, you know, I was like, I want to play more games like Zelda. And I want to play more games, period. And I just started, it just kind of opened me up. But Breath of the Wild is, of course, what really did it. Because I was like, I've never seen anything like this. Yeah. That's so amazing. So, yeah. So.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, 2020, I agree with everyone. 2017 is a strong year. Breath of the Wild, look, Breath of the they already said this about Breath of the Wild. They built it first in of the NES. They built it in the NES first, the entire, and then they made the Breath of the Wild as we know it today. So yes, you know it is in, you know, everything Joycey said it and Zach, you know, is on point because Miyamoto actually explained that, you know, and that was his vision from the beginning. I am going to go ahead and pick 2023, and I'm between 2023 and 2021 because in 2021 I have my best all-time Mario, which, believe it or not, I could care less about the length of the game if it's long or short. I mean, I got Bowser's Fury, by the way. Bowser's Fury is as big of a game as Nintendo 64 Mario 64. It has 120 cat shines. We have 120 little stars in Mario 64. I like the open world factor, the fact that you open the world and it continues to expand and you can go anywhere, climb everywhere. You look at that thing, I want to climb it, just like Breath of the Wild was, 2023, Tears of the Kingdom. I play both of them. I played Breath of the Wild, yes, and it was the game that really got me to take a look at Zelda in a serious way. And after that, I did go back and replayed some of the ones that I played before, and I think that's the game that I give credit to for me to coming back to Zelda as a fan and giving it more time. But Tears of the Kingdom for me personally is the better game, but of course because it came after, it has more mechanics, better gameplay, bigger world, more exploration. I do love this story of Tears of the Kingdom. I love the fact that Zelda's in the past, right? And then Link's in the future. And I love the fact that they're working together and to kind of defeat Ganon. That thought is so cool to me. Zelda's in the past just kind of doing her thing, kind of looking for a way to restore the Master Sword. I'm not gonna say is it can we talk about that already? Can we talk
please, yes, it's over here. Turn it down for the next 5 minutes. Just turn it down for the next 5 minutes. Go for it.
Because I just love the story. To me, it feels like a love story. Zelda sacrifices herself. She doesn't know whether she's gonna come back or not. Right? She literally becomes a dragon. She swallows like a pill. I'm gonna call it.
She swallows one.
Draconification is when she becomes the dragon. Too.
Draconification.
Yeah. So I'm like, she swallows kind of like a pill, right? To become a dragon, and she's told before that that's a permanent thing. How did she become? She become a person again? That was just a surprise for everyone. But when I saw Link have that vision or that kind of scene from Zelda, and then all of a sudden he opened his eyes and we see the shrine and we see all of her favorite flowers just pop up. Man, that was just such an emotional scene. I'm like, what the heck? And at that point we all thought Zelda was dead.
I think it would have been much heavier hitting if they had left her as a dragon.
Yeah, it would have. I'm not gonna lie, I like that.
But I have to say that it gave the proper closure when Link catches her at the end.
It does,
because she did fell and Link was not able to save her. So I mean that was like the perfect way of closing the whole gap.
Yeah.
I just loved it because
artwork too. I love the artwork.
Yeah, the artwork is amazing. What I just love about that whole ending scene about the final, in fact, the music there is called The Final Catch. And what I loved about that is because that whole journey was Link like, I'm going to go find her. It really, I mean, we help the people and we do the shrines and we do the thing. But it was really about, I'm going to find her.
Yeah.
We didn't have to get memories again. We didn't have to do any of that. It was just like he had to go, and people, and whether that's, I know there's always debate over this, but I know that, they're like, well, they're not really in love. They're this, well, whatever they are, I would like to have a friend that dependable that I could trust with something of that magnitude. I need you to save my whole country and, I'm carrying this sword and then, one way or the other, Link was going to get her back one way or the other. And I appreciate that part of the journey.
To answer the question of whether they were together or not, that house that you actually get in Breath of the Wild, well, in Tears of the Kingdom is Zelda's house, so she moved in. he's in there. They're both together.
He probably moved out. It's like
no, that's canon for why I personally believe in my head that they're actually married.
Yeah,
because that's what happens when your wife moves in. It's her house now, and you just live there.
Exactly. I can testify.
Just live there.
We love our men. Don't get me wrong. Don't let the internet fool you. We love our men. I love my man. Mike's wife loves him. Paul, everybody. Lily loves her boyfriend. It's great. But when we move in, it's we decorate. We make the house a home. That's what we do.
100% correct. I can get back behind that. And And
She's not behind you, right, Mike?
speaking of the other side, I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't have happy wife, happy life. That's what I think about.
Men don't want to deal with all that, So the woman's like, "No, I got this. I'll put the drapes up. I'll get the painters in here. Don't worry about that."
You're right. I guess what, guys? You like everything. Do you like this? Yes. Do I look fat? No. Don't even answer that. Walk away.
I wish we stopped tricking dudes with that question. Like, no, that's a setup, y'all.
We hope everybody's enjoying.
Pretend like you never heard it. Pretend like you didn't hear it. Just walk away.
No, just save yourself the argument, ladies. Just say, I know I look fat, but do I at least look good? And then that should be a yes.
No, I wouldn't let that. I'm like, you don't look fat. You look amazing. Anyway, this is Nintendo's emphasis. They want to be everywhere. They want to be in front of your face. They want to take over your house. They want to be where you sleep. Alarmo. They're watching you sleep. So be careful.
Climbing in your windows. Okay, I'll stop.
And so, so I guess this is the most interesting part of the entire presentation. I do have one part that I want to go over before we go to the next topic, the Q&A, which is super interesting here. And the first question is here. In today's presentation, you stated that Nintendo Switch software will be playable on the Nintendo Switch Online, which will continue to be available on the successful Nintendo Switch. What did this week? I could go ahead, Paul. I mean, not Paul. Zach, you become a character and read that question as a. I'm going to give you a character. You are an annoying, high pitched journalist that is questioning everything. You're super negative, and you're asking this question. Go ahead.
In today's presentation, you stated that the Nintendo Switch software will be playable, and Nintendo Switch Online will continue to be available on the successor to the Nintendo Switch. Wouldn't this weaken the motivation for current Nintendo Switch players to purchase the new software at launch? I would like to know how you will convey the unique appeal of the successor system to consumers going forward.
All right, good job. Everybody clap.
That was amazing.
Way to go.
And you too can hire Zach to narrate your life with a donation of. No, I'm just kidding.
So here comes the Godfather says, we've explained the Nintendo Switch software will be playable on the successor to the Nintendo Switch. You know what I mean? And they take many consumers, and the device is in the best direction. You suck and you're annoying. Shut up. And they
just imagine like the actual Godfather. Oh God, what was his name, guys?
Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
You know that scene where he's like rubbing, like he's just stroking the cat. Pretend like he's just like for a cause, just like with a Switch 2 in his hands, and he's just totally just stroking the Switch.
I know the scene. You come to me at my daughter's wedding, and you ask for my permission.
On this, the day of my daughter's wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
Important thing to remember, he never memorized any lines, so there was usually someone standing there with like a script taped to like their hat or their chest or whatever, and he was just reading.
And the cat wasn't scripted either. It was like a stray that kind of made its way on set and literally jumped in his lap, and he's just petting the cat and just going. So it's like perfect accident. Anyway, y'all go watch The Godfather too. It's old now, but
you need to watch it. Yeah,
it's good for you. It's good for you.
It's culture. It's part of life.
It really is.
It
really
definitely is. Yeah.
And the first movie that what's his name, Al Pacino, should have won an Oscar for. Okay, I'm done. Go ahead.
No worries. There's another part here that I want to go over quick. That was just like a mic drop moment here. I'm looking for it, and it was about Miyamoto, of course. The guy's just the Godfather's assistant to the assistant. Let's see here. Is this the one, Miyamoto? Okay, this is the one. It says here, rising development costs have become an issue in this video game industry. How does Nintendo view the current situation? In addition, will Nintendo research and develop expenses continue to increase going forward? Can we mitigate the rise in development costs by implementing some sort of measures on the... What's wrong with these people? Like, who cares? Seriously, I like Miyamoto's like, our research and development expenses have been increasing each year. since our scale of development has grown because they make more games, they sell more. As corresponding increase in cost is, right, in some respects inevitable. However, our belief is that what we create is more important than the amount we spend on it. Come on, dude.
What a way to make them shut their mouth.
I'm like, come on. You know, what kind of questions are these already? You guys know that Nintendo has 127 million in the very last year of a Nintendo Switch life cycle. 127 million. About 80%, what like Paul said, is unheard of for any console. You know? Go ahead.
I have a feeling that people that are kind of asking these questions, they don't own Nintendo Switch. Like they have They have never played. Yeah, that's what I mean. So usually they will come back with these kind of questions because, of course, they compare it with the industry as a whole, right? And Nintendo, it's not, even though it's part of the same industry, they have their own way of doing things, and they have proof that whatever they're doing, it has worked for many years already. But they really stand out if you compare with everybody else. But I do believe that people who are asking these questions, they have never played a Nintendo game in their lives or something like that. That's why they're asking these type of questions, and they're honestly kind of valid questions and important questions. Because they're talking about the money, right? Especially if it's their money, or So that's the way I see it.
But I would see it that way if it were in the first time. If it was just the first time they asked this, but they ask this almost every year. You know, the same exact. Yeah.
To be fair, I mean, Switch literally took off and had a very slow descent. So before Wii U didn't do as good, the Wii was more it seemed like it was more marketed to casuals. GameCube and of course we know Paul is like the numbers god, so he can correct me when I'm wrong. You know, you have to think about like where a good 70 to 80% of their gaming history is. So I do understand it, but also, one of the things, see, if it were up to me, I would be like Furukawa's, like, I'd be like his anger translator or something, or Shigeru's anger translator, because my question would be back to, do you understand we are selling games off of an 8-year-old system? Sit down. Don't ask no more stupid questions.
They'll probably think about that in their head, right? Like they don't say it, but they think it. They think about it, right?
For sure.
That's why I would be his anger translator, because he wouldn't say. Okay, if y'all haven't seen that Key and Peele skit.
Key and Peele, I know where you're getting at.
Yeah, see, Paul knows what's up.
Luthor.
Yeah, y'all. Yeah, well, I'll send y'all the link to that later.
The Rainbow Love in the chat. Tell him, Joycey.
That would be me. I would just be behind a Furukawa in a dark suit and dark glasses. Like, don't ask that stupid question again. Sit down. Y'all have made more money in the last 8 years off of a bare bones system, off of a tablet. This tablet is dog walking the whole industry off of old tech. Please sit down. Sorry, Joycey got a tummy ache, so I'm a little sassy.
No, Joycey, you have the complete floor to be yourself and do what you got to do. Go.
Thank you.
So listen, before we head up to the next topic, Paul, do you have anything to add financially when it comes to Nintendo Switch, where they are right now, the software sold, and give me your thoughts. I want to hear from you.
Things are in line where I originally had them, down to my projections of Nintendo Switch sales for the fiscal year. Like, rewind a few months before Nintendo said they're 13.5 million, I called out 12 million. That was just my analysis of what the next year was a few months before they closed off the previous year. So when they said 13.5, I thought that is more than I thought, but obviously they know more than I know. So there must be something that they have in their software that I don't know about that they think could sell it. or hardware deals or bundles that they don't know about, right?
Yeah.
However, now them reducing the forecast from 13.5 to 12.5, it is very close to my original projection, so maybe they should have consulted me in the first place. But you know, then they would have sold more than 12, which looks better than selling less than 13.5. But Nintendo is also usually pretty conservative because it looks better to squash your expectations than do less.
Yeah.
And I think if they reduce it to 12 and a half and they end up selling 12.83, it looks good. Less than the original, but better than the revised. But overall, the console's tail has gone up, and then it's taking a long time to go down, even if it's going down by 30% every year. Some people saying, oh my gosh, I saw some videos and some headlines. Disastrous news for Nintendo Switch. Sales down. No duh. It's been going down every year since 2020, but you're selling millions of units. There's nothing to worry about. Nintendo, there is no Nintendo Doom or anything. You realize that if Nintendo Switch sells, which it probably will somewhere in the 5-ish million units this last quarter, that's in a 3-month span, it will sell more than a third of Wii U's entire life. There's nothing bad about 5 million units being sold on an 8-year-old, nearly 8-year-old machine when you put it into that perspective. Even look at something like a Nintendo 64, a 30 million selling. 1/6 of the system's whole life being sold in just 1/4 of a year. Nintendo Switch is fine. It's having a very nice retirement plan. It's not just being taken into the back and like, goodbye, so long, dog. Long unused barn animal anymore. No, like this thing is, doing very, very well. So I don't have any fear of it dropping off, which is why I'm always very positive on that 160 is going to be hit. It's not falling off of a cliff. This backwards compatibility thing, like Mike said earlier, it's only going to help Nintendo Switch software sell longer and longer because eventually the hardware will stop, but the software is going to keep counting as software purchased for Nintendo Switch.
Yep.
If people are buying Nintendo Switch 2 they missed out on Nintendo Switch, yet you still go to GameStop and you see a brand new copy of Super Mario Odyssey, and you're like, dang, I heard about that game. Is it playable on this? Yeah, and you're playing it on your Nintendo Switch 2 because that's a new system for you. But that software sale still counts for Nintendo Switch, which is forever going to boost up that hardware-software ratio, and it's awesome. And it's like, yeah, but that happens with other systems that have backwards compatibility. It never helped them out too much, but no system's ever had 127 freaking million people still playing it 8 years in, 86% of the audience, because it's a very attractive, very powerful, a very satisfied user base. For as much as people online, when's the next bundle? When's the next console? The vast majority of people are buying a new system this holiday for the first time, and they're going to be happy. Who's still buying Mario Kart? Trust me, tens of thousands of people every week are buying Mario Kart.
I'm going to get that for my nephew.
Yeah. So I'm very happy with the sales. I think that 13.5 could still be attainable, but hey, they went with 12.5, and that's fine. Oh, quick sales on, I don't think we went over Echoes of Wisdom.
Yeah.
2.58 million in 5 days. In comparison, Link's Awakening, 3.13 million in 11 days. So just to squash anyone's, it didn't even do as good as Link's Awakening, Zelda's down, no one likes to play as Zelda. Dude, that's not even the case. Link's Awakening HD was literally out for 11 days, and it did like 550,000 more, but with 6 more days on the market for that quarter. So I think probably Nintendo's expecting, or Nintendo's thinking, this game is in line with where we thought it was. Now is also on Amazon, which is going to, help out those holiday sales. You're looking at Japan's software sales every week. It's looking good there. It's still charting in the top 10. It's still in the eShop. So don't feel bad about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Nintendo did. I mean, you can look at all this stuff. I'm sure it's everywhere on the internet. But if you want to see it on my channel, Nintendo put out little charts on just how strong are some of our smaller selling franchises and how they're doing on Nintendo Switch. And you see like Pikmin on Nintendo Switch versus Pikmin on Wii U and 3DS.
Yeah.
Kirby on Nintendo Switch versus Kirby on those two. Metroid on Switch versus the other two. Xenoblade Chronicles on Switch versus those other two combined.
And also, if you are going to look it up, don't look it up anywhere else on the internet. Go to Paul's channel.
Yeah, man.
Do go to X, do go to Polygon Network, and scroll down a little bit, and you'll see that exact chart. We knew it all generation long, but this is just another stat, another point of evidence. Like,
Yeah.
and that's also kind of why, as some people don't like it. I was just I'm working on a little stat right here. When it comes to Donkey Kong Country Returns, you see how much more did Tropical Freeze sell on on Nintendo Switch than Wii U? It over doubled it. And Donkey Kong Country Returns, I think Nintendo's like, there's more that we could get out of it. Donkey Kong Country Returns came out in 2010, 14 years ago. Even the 3DS version came out in 2013. That's 11 years ago. Those are systems from a generation or two generations ago. Some people were 14 years younger back on the Wii version, or 11 years younger, or not even born yet. And do you think it's that easy for someone who's, I don't know, maybe like a 17-year-old right now who's interested in more Donkey Kong to go just find this 3DS version, hop on eBay, go that, buy a Wii, and like, no. So, you give Nintendo some credit. You could debate, oh, is it worth $60, this, that. We have yet to see how much is fully included, but there's a reason why. Hey, later into a system's life, it might not be for everyone, but surely not all 146 million people that own a Nintendo Switch have played those Donkey Kong Country Returns. Want to know how I know? Because if you add up the old sales of the games, it's only like 9 million people. So 9 million people in total bought that Donkey Kong Country Returns between Wii U and 3DS. So there's a good 157 million or 137 million people who haven't even played it. That's who this game is for. Think of more than just you. Don't buy the game if you already beat it. It's for someone else. And that's what gaming is so awesome, because there's always something for everybody. And I, in general, like happiness and other people's happiness. It's always been one of my things. So I'm like, dude, nice of them for having that port, Like, will I buy this game again? Probably not. I'm happy with my original experience, but I might, because now I get to experience with my kids. So if they see it and they like it, I could bust out the Wii U and pop in the disc, but you know what? Maybe that's a reason for someone like me to replay it again because of their interest, because they weren't alive back then, and accessibility. And like, here they have a dad that's a hardcore gamer, and even I'm like, yeah, I could see myself buying it again if they wish. So think about the people that are less hardcore that see Donkey Kong on the shelves. It's for more than just you. It's awesome to have this for everyone. To answer the original question though, anything else sales wise? Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with it. Not to detract anymore, because you get me going, and I'll go a little too long possibly. But Sony had their announcement today, and you look at like their 3.8 million versus Nintendo's 2.62. They said, yeah, it's more, but it's a 4-year younger system. So is it all that impressive to sell like another 30% better? Like, you would think maybe a little bit more than that is what it should have sold. Nintendo did over 30 million in sales in software. Sony did like 77.7 million in sales. Better, but should it have been more? Appropriately so? Possibly, probably. Nintendo Switch is still competing just fine. Okay, good.
All right. Thank you, Paul.
You asked me another one? Make sure it's yes or no. Because I was joking in the private chat. Even a yes or no question, I'll probably find a way to go off. But no, it's a good time for Nintendo. and there is no Doom. They're cooking behind the scenes. Better to have this software last us longer so that parts could be cheaper for Nintendo Switch 2. They could have more months to manufacture it, to have 7 million available day one instead of 3.5. So everyone that wants one for them could buy one and not have to pay a scalper price because it's eaten up too quickly. That instead of having one good game at launch, there might be a few good games at launch. Instead of having a drought after the system comes out because the next game's not ready for 4 months later, the system came out a little bit later. So now between the time the system came out and that next game, it's a shorter gap. So there is no essential drought. It's a great time. It's good.
All right, and so just to add to that, there are reports from manufacturers dating a while back that the number is actually 10 million. Nintendo's looking to actually have ready as many units as they can to combat scalper. So they have publicly mentioned this, that they're when it comes to how many units they're going to have for Switch 2 at launch, they're going to have as many as they can to combat scalping. And so I'm guessing they're hard at work for that. All right, so moving on to the final topic before we get into our Q&A, I'm going to go ahead and cue the banner so you guys can go ahead and submit your question in now. While we talk about this, you go ahead and submit your question for the Q&A portion of our podcast. We have this piece of information here. The only way we bring it up is because Simon Hunter resurrected for the dead somewhere, and then also came back and then also I think they were the first one to bring in the Xenoblade Chronicles X thing before it was announced. So because of that recency, we're bringing in this one as well, and it looks like people are also sharing it a lot and covering it. So it says here, it may be a little early for this tweet, and by that I'm guessing they mean there is a Nintendo Direct coming in September with more video games for Nintendo Switch, right? We also have PH Brazil say, "Oh yeah, we're getting a Direct in February." Big surprise with Nintendo Switch related games, not Switch 2, and that's also not a big surprise. We always get Directs in February, and of course, Nintendo Switch 2 will not be out in February, so it's gonna be Nintendo Switch games. So this could be what they are referring to. It may be a little early for this tweet, but winter is coming.
Oh yes, it is, and I'm in Canada.
And so new announcements, and they went ahead and shared these two images here. They have this one right there, okay, with this Ocarina of Time, okay, and this one has to do with the Donkey Kong for January. Everybody's kind of putting that together, right? So it feels like what they're saying is that January, February for the Nintendo Direct. Not that it's going to come out in February, but maybe they're going to announce it in the February Direct. And you know, the rumor for the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, either remake or HD, has been circulating the rounds for quite a while now, right?
When did the Switch come out? 2017?
2017.
So since at least 2015 or 2016.
I mean, every single year that, you know.
So long. Just give it to us, Nintendo.
I think ever since the game came out and
Sorry.
the next day, there's a remake. Anyway, but yeah, so with that brings the question over, because we have I don't think we have Zelda games in this podcast, Zelda fans in this podcast, right? We don't have any Zelda fans.
No.
Crew. I'm not quite sure if we do.
I like Zelda.
I have no clue what we're talking about.
But do you love Zelda?
Very much so. I'm her favorite auntie.
Well, that proves it. So we have that. People are covering it. Samus Hunter is talking about the potential Ocarina of Time remake or HD. That's the first question. And answer it either HD. What do you guys think? HD or remake?
Remake.
I'm gonna go with remake.
Remake? Okay. How about you, Zach? Remake or HD?
You know what?
I want to say remake because it's so old. However, we have a 3DS version that would be easier for them to upscale than the originals. So I'm on the fence. I'm 50-50. I would like remake.
I'm gonna add after I ask Paul. I'm gonna add some weight to Paul to Zach's answer.
Also, what was Paper Mario? They weren't calling it a remake. Was it a rebuild? What was?
It was.
What were they calling that?
Closing Your Door was a remake. It's confirmed there was.
I thought they gave it like some special title because they were building it exactly the same, but completely from scratch. Okay, well, what they did for Paper Mario, that if they go a remake, that's the type of remake I would expect.
Yeah, and it's a remake because there are certain areas they're not the same. Like even like lights and fixtures and decorations or whatever, they're just not the same at all. In that place, or animations too that are kind of new, better, and the Link to the Past. I think Game Explain has a good video on that. If you want to check it out. So, Paul, what do you think? Remake or HD?
Remake.
All right. So, to add to Zach's add weight to that, Nintendo is right now this game. Where is it coming from? Nintendo 3DS. It's a port. Luigi's Mansion 2. Where is it coming from? Nintendo 3DS. It's another port, an HD port. Okay. Nintendo is if it comes for Nintendo Switch, I don't think it's gonna be a remake. I think it's gonna be a port, maybe some assets updated, right? Maybe like Metroid Prime remastered kind of thing.
That'd be good.
Yeah,
That'd a lot.
So it's not gonna be a complete remake, a remaster / HD port from the 3DS version to Nintendo Switch. Yeah, it's not gonna be the original version. It's gonna be from the 3DS version to Nintendo Switch. Nintendo, they look Xenoblade Chronicles X, Wii U, and again Donkey Kong, and of course the other Luigi's Mansion. They're bringing games from both sides, from 3DS and from Wii U. They're porting games. So in February, expect to get more games ported from the Wii U and from the 3DS. Games like Nintendo Land can be ported from the Wii U. Games like Kid Icarus from the 3DS. And so, in an HD version, sadly, $59. But you know what I mean? But again, it's like Paul said, it's a new game for someone. And I didn't play any game on the Wii U or any game on the 3DS, so they're all new for me.
Well, here's the thing. I'm sorry. Was somebody else going to say something?
No, go ahead.
My thing is, with Ocarina of Time, I know it's technically not on Switch. I mean, it's on NSO. Maybe because I'm a quote unquote old gamer and because I've already played this so many times already.
Yeah.
I don't see a $60 value in just porting over from, and I know they already did it with Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
But Zelda, the thing about it is, I don't think they fully. This is a whole other conversation, but just to make this make sense, I don't think they fully tapped into the full potential of Zelda. I really don't. I don't think they've even scratched the surface.
Ding, 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 ding.
Thank you, Zach. So the thing about it is that porting over a game again, there's no, unless they put some extras in it, we get some extra lore, maybe we get some extra dungeons, some more side quests, maybe we take a different route, and maybe there's some significant changes. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to sell. I just don't see that that's going to be worth $60. Now, if they want to wait a couple more years, I want to say, how old is Ocarina of Time? Like 25 years old? About
26.
If they want to 26, so if they wanted to wait until 30 and do a 30-year edition, special edition, and it comes with a whole bunch of bells and whistles for $60. Okay, I can see that, but I like good graphics. Don't get me wrong, but I understand what kind of game I'm getting, and I understand what games looked like back in 1998 and before then. So you got it. So Nintendo, tell me why I need to buy Ocarina of Time a third or fourth time now.
Yeah.
When because I could just get the expansion and get access to it and just play it right then and there. I don't even have to wait. I don't have to go anywhere.
No, I agree. And so basically, again, so if it's Nintendo Switch, I don't think we're getting a remake. Okay, if it's Nintendo Switch, we're not getting a remake. And if it's coming to Nintendo Switch, like if they decide to drop another version, an updated version, a port, a remastered version on Nintendo Switch, I can see that coming to Nintendo Switch. The only way I see a remake is on Nintendo Switch 2. And at that point, it's going to be at $70, because of course they will be adding more things to it. They're going to Final Fantasy it, like what compare Final Fantasy 7 to Final Fantasy 7 remake. They're completely different games and a story, different games, different assets, different play style, everything, right? And so I wouldn't like to see the remake on Nintendo Switch. I want to see on Switch 2. If it's an HD port, okay, I'm fine with it. But and again, this is all speculation. We're kind of
all speculation.
Going over the rails here. But in my opinion, I don't see them making a full remake on Nintendo Switch. I mean, I could be wrong. They could just drop it and just say, "Mike, you're wrong, man. You just don't know anything, man. You know anything." And then drop it at $70 too. Who knows? Nintendo. Know.
Real quick, I did want to point out though, and like no shade to Luigi's Mansion or anything like that. I haven't played it yet, but I know it's a good game. I have it, but I haven't played it yet. But Mario is always going to sell, even if one doesn't sell as good as another. Yep. Mario's always going to sell, and Luigi has really, really come up during. Well, he's been coming up, but he did really well on his own with his own games. Zelda's a little different, They usually, not always, give a little bit better treatment on when it comes to Zelda, because I think Nintendo knows we have something special. We just haven't cracked. We haven't scratched the surface of the potential yet either. I think they know that. That's why they really like to do Zelda remakes. I thought Skyward Sword was a good remake for the Switch, or not remake, but HD port was good for the Switch because it gave us a different option for the controls for those of people who don't really like motion controls. And then it's in HD and it runs, I think, at a locked 60 FPS. That was a good upgrade from what we originally got back in like 2011 or 2012, whenever Skyward Sword came out. But at this point, I kind of like when we have a new bevy of Zelda fans who aren't as familiar with Ocarina of Time. So I guess my thing is how, if you don't upgrade what the original and even what the HD version look like, I feel like you're not going to capture those new fans. Yeah. And it's not because it's a bad game. It's an excellent game. It's a wonderful game. Everybody should play Ocarina of Time. But I just don't see I don't know if it could capture the same audience, because when we were growing up in 1998 and teenagers and kids and everything, the N64 graphics were just the best thing ever, and now we look back and it's like, wow, maybe that wasn't that great. But now, and everybody doesn't care only about graphics and everything, but because it's already available on NSO, I just think to capture this audience, it has to look different enough than from the original. And the HD version is just a beautiful version of the original. Now we have to make something even more beautiful to catch people now. Because fans like us, we're going to buy it. But I'll be honest, I'm not going to feel good about paying $60 for it's like, bro, I got this on the 3DS. It's the same thing. Give me some more stuff with it. Give me some more dungeons. Give me some more side quests. Give me more lore. Put other little Easter eggs in there, do more things. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I 100% agree. I don't think we need I don't think we need Ocarina of Time on the Switch. If they are going to release it, just wait a little bit. Wait for the anniversary. Get a full remake going. Something that feels new, fresh, bigger game. Something that can actually hold people. It'll hold people up until we get the next big Zelda game. So
I think they ought to go with one that's not currently available on the recent system. And what I mean is you can't purchase it and you can't get it on NSO. And I think that's all we got left. Just about. Well, I think there's also Spirit Tracks that's not on NSO. Wait, or is it Spirit Tracks on NSO? I don't think it is.
No, Spirit Tracks or Phantom Hourglass, they're not. Also, A Link Between Worlds, which is an awesome game, by the way.
And Triforce Heroes.
Those are
Triforce Heroes, yeah.
And Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. But what's gonna get everybody's juices popping? Okay, juices flowing, whatever you want to call it. It's gonna be one of the bigger 3D games. I love Phantom Hourglass. When I played it forever ago, and I barely even remember it. And Spirit Tracks, I like the games and everything, but they don't capture the attention that I think Nintendo wants. But I think I don't know about Wind Waker, but I think I'm always going to vouch that Twilight Princess needs to be remade properly, and it needs to be take all that fuzziness out, take all that graininess out, and do a little bit more than HD and upscale it. I don't care if they have to rebuild the darn thing.
Yeah.
But it needs to be done right. I understand they don't want to go back to that art style because it got them a T rating, if I remember right. But be proud of what you have and present it well, because I think there's also still money in that. If they really, really did a good job on really, really upscaling it, or whatever the right term is, for Twilight Princess, that will definitely hold us over until the next Zelda.
Yeah, and I honestly, well, one thing is that I now that everybody has shared their input, like first of all, it does say winter, so if it's going to be for the Switch, I will be leaning towards more of the 3D version. The other thing is that Skyward Sword was developed by Nintendo and co-developed by Tantalus Media, which is a different developer. And Grezzo has been, proving, and also circling back to Echoes of Wisdom, they did something that they never thought it was going to be possible. They got involved in the entire development, and that's hence why they did a wonderful job with Echoes of Wisdom. The only thing is that
Link's Awakening.
That's correct. However, in Link's Awakening, they were a little bit more heavily supervised by Nintendo. Here, they gave them the liberty to do a lot of the things. So a lot of things. They even asked a lot of questions, like, "Well, how would you do this?"
Yeah.
And Grezzo has proven to be, and they are, a huge Zelda fan, right? The only thing that I do agree with in terms of what Joycey said, one of the things why I didn't really appreciate fully, and it's only my personal opinion about it, but I'm a big Ocarina of Time fan, and they took away a lot of the things that I loved from the original on the remake. But I also understand, well, not the remake, but the remaster, because it's not a remake. They took they also, like, for example, a lot of things that they fixed on it, because one of them being the water temple, right? Because there's an easier way for you to navigate it, and I understand why they did it. But what I'm trying to say is that it's exactly the same. Like, you can hear everything is exactly the same. It just has a new kind of skin on top of it. Exactly. That's what I mean. So to Joycey's point, I do agree that you have to give us something a little bit more for us to be justifying that we're going to be spending a full price on it, right? Like, for example, I don't know, give us a bundle. Why not release both Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask in the same game? That I would definitely buy for $60.
I think
that is a deal, because that's even cheaper than what they originally
and they
were
have
worth.
both already. They have Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time already remastered for the 3D version. So I feel like that should be a great opportunity. I wouldn't be a fan of having it limited like they did with the 3D All-Star, by the way. But it makes sense also because with the fact that we don't have any DS or 3DS games on the NSO yet. Not even GameCube games yet. So I feel like, that's definitely something that I'm aiming for. And if you do give us like a remaster, then add challenges like, those never-ending pits, dungeon after dungeon, or fighting enemies after enemies, and get me something good at the very end of it, or, something like a small DLC that you can put into it. But
Or
Yeah,
if they just added to it. So, okay, Lily Paul, walk with me on this, okay?
Somebody clip this because they're spitting fire right now.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's hear it, Joycey. Let's hear it.
Take a walk with me, y'all. Walk with me. Talk with me.
Okay.
They do the remake and they do the thing, and they're like, guys, we're selling it for $60, but there's something that for our new fans, it's something our old fans don't expect. And of course, we're gonna buy it because we're who we are. So
we will.
We get it. We're playing. Yay. Okay. Yay, Ganon. We beat Ganon. Oh, let's go pull the Master Sword. Wait, what? What? And they slip a whole new side of the story in there. And we like get confronted with other links like, hey, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Something of that nature. And then, but we still have the original story, but there's more fleshed out to it. And I know I've said that a little bit before, but that I want to kind of streamline that idea, because I think that would work. We still get the same game and we don't take the charm off of that, but it branches off into something else. And it's like, if you pick your timeline, if you go back to your childhood, you will be ostracized and have no friends, and you will end up with regrets in another game. Yeah. Or you could take this timeline or something of that nature, because that's the game that jacked up the timeline really, 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 really bad. And I know the timeline doesn't count, blah, 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 blah. We're doing it anyway, because I said so.
Let's not forget that there were levels in areas and zones that Nintendo initially wanted to put in this game that they had to cut because of the limitations of production budget in the N64 cartridge.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm picking up on something here. I'm sorry to burst everybody's bubble, but I think that this is leaning towards it's coming in its form, in an HD form, because this Donkey Kong here kind of hints at more than what it is. What was the original console for this Donkey Kong game?
Wii.
All right, and it came over to where? 3DS. And now it's coming to Switch. There was the original console for this one was
Nintendo 64.
Nintendo 64. Then it came over to where?
The Wii.
Yes.
And now it's coming over to
Virtual Console on the Wii. Yeah.
It was on Virtual Console. I'm talking about to get us to buy it again. I saw how people tore Donkey Kong apart. I think it looks fine, but you know, I'm a little bit different. Also, I haven't played Donkey Kong Country, but people ripped that apart, and I was like, okay.
It's still. I mean, it's coming. It's coming. It's still coming, and I'm pretty sure it's still sell. And I personally, I would buy Ocarina of Time HD if it came to Nintendo Switch, and if it was $50, I would pay it. You know, because the thing is that there's always a first time for everyone.
That's fair for you. I know. I want you to experience it. I'm sorry, Mike.
Yeah, and I know there is a Nintendo 64 version on Nintendo and on NSO. There are a lot of people who don't want to be into subscription plans and stuff like that. They'd rather buy a game right off the back and just own it and play it, right? And so I'm, understanding these people. I would buy it. I think I've heard in the chat. Yeah, people will actually buy an HD version of Ocarina of Time if they went ahead and threw a new paint job at it, new skins or whatever, make it look very nice and pretty. It would sell. I think it would sell. It's Zelda. It would sell.
I don't know. Somebody clip that so we can return to this conversation. I like this conversation. I would be interested if they didn't do anything extra except optimize it for the Switch and make it. And lock the FPS and do some pretty things with it.
No, but that's not what I said. I said like that they would up like Metro.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They would optimize it for Switch, and it runs at lock 60 FPS, and it looks pretty. But for those of us that have already played Ocarina of Time several times, how does that grab us? You see what I mean? Like, do I want to pay $60 for that again?
So Metro Prime Remaster is not just it's more than just taking the original and making it run. It's literally replacing all of the assets with new updated in a way graphics.
But if they port Ocarina of Time from the 3DS version and just optimize it for the Switch, then they're not doing a Metroid Prime 1.
No, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If they take Ocarina of Time from the 3DS, when I mean from the 3DS, they'll use that version of a port, bring it to the Nintendo Switch, but they will remaster that version. Not just HDify it. The HD is just aspect ratio. and and maybe frames per second. Aspect ratio is HD. Remaster is going in back into the code and replacing assets, making Link look better. The buildings look sharper. Basically replacing actual assets within the same engine, like they did with Metroid Prime. They like from head to toe they replaced Samus. It looks a lot better. She looks sharper. You know, the visuals look really very good on. It's the best port, I guess, right now that we have on Nintendo Switch. The best looking port of a game. And so if they did that with Ocarina of Time, of course we have to see how it looks because we never know. It might sell you if they actually bring it out and it looks stunning with the new visuals and new. You know,
I'm gonna buy it regardless. I'm just not gonna be happy about it unless they give me a reason. Give me a reason to buy it and be happy about it and play that version. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go plug in my Wii and go play it on my old virtual console or whatever.
So something
or pull out my 3DS.
Something very interesting. Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. Keep going.
No, I was reading something here. I wasn't even talking. Go ahead.
Something very interesting on the game development side of this stuff. And I understand what you're saying, Joycey, because Nintendo can throw the kitchen sink at it as far as making it look nicer and put all of their elbow grease and stuff in it. But for you, if all it is HD, you're like, I don't care how much work they did to make that look better. I want something more. Like, that's what you yourself are saying. But what is interesting about the limits that they can push in HD remaster, we've all played Mario 64, I'm assuming.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And Paul might know this just because it's so random and obscure. But the texture packs, you know, the very first level in Mario 64, with the bombs. You know, like there's the grass, and then there's the red road, like the red brick, like road type thing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think they did to make that? Like, do you think they painted it? Do you think they drew it? Do you think?
I don't know. Nintendo razzle dazzle.
Those are photos. Those are real photos that almost all of the textures in Mario 64 are actual photos of the real world, just compressed like crazy with filters thrown on, color filters thrown on them and whatnot. But all of that to say, using Mario 64 as an example, and I do know that Ocarina of Time used a lot of the same texture packs because they were in development at the same time. Using that as an example, so say Nintendo has those original photographs that were used and compressed like nobody's business. Well, what if now they use a full res upscale version, uncompressed? Now we have the real, like, the vibe of the game's the same. You know what I mean? This is the same road, but this is what it really was. You can see real grass here now. You can see real stones, real this. And I've said this before on the podcast, but because we have intermediary, we have the 3DS version and whatnot and other ports, it is much easier to upscale this into, what's it called? Make it just pop and more HD and high, crisp, the best textures you've ever seen in this game. Because back in the day, when these games were made, it was the Wild West. Everybody was doing their own thing. And if they were trying to mess with the Nintendo 64 version, that's a lot of work. But nowadays, we have what is called a step file. And so there's all sorts of 3D software, and a step file is literally made to step in between them. And so you could say, okay, this program uses an OBJ, this one uses FBX files, or I want to change this file that was made in Maya into something that I can open in Blender or 3ds Max. You can take your file and convert it to a step file and then open the step file in any of those softwares. And there might be some things wrong with it, but it's like 95, 99% there. And then another thing that they could do is, while they can make completely new models, we have polygons and all of this. And let's say there's so many polygons on something, you can apply a modifier to subdivide. And you can subdivide to whatever your system can handle. But basically, you take this old, really pixelated building, every time you subdivide it, it is splitting each polygon into 2 polygons. Subdivide it by 3. Now those polygons, so it's exponential, and you get exponentially more pixels. And so what that automatically does is it automatically takes away the jaggedness and automatically starts to smooth it. And then you can have the game engine do some math that's not even on the models itself, but using algorithms smooth these things even further, which is how modern game engines work. And so all that to say, they could take their original assets and without, like, it would be a lot of work for the people doing it, but like from us from the outside, without too much work, they could make something that we don't have the original assets that they have. So we see the Unreal Engine versions of these games on YouTube all the time that are fan run, but the people making those don't have the original pictures that were compressed like crazy and had 10 filters on them to make the stone road. You know, Nintendo does. Nintendo has the original building, so it can be something that completely keeps the same vibe, but looks photorealistic because these textures actually were photos, which is weird because the game's stylized. So, yeah, all that to say, an HD version of this could blow our minds more than we ever expected and not actually be something that needs to be completely rebuilt to do. A remaster could look like a rebuild. And so that's just a little insider on how that would work.
And I agree with you. Let me also just kind of clarify. I don't want, and when I say I want prettier things or whatever, I don't want to lose the soul of the game. So I know I've always joked, I want it remade in the Wii U tech demo. No, that's obviously Twilight Princess. I don't want to lose the color of Ocarina of Time. I don't want to lose that whimsicalness. I don't want to lose any really things about it. It's just that sell this to me, who remembers when the game came out, play it several years later, replayed it a few times, and played it on the 3DS a couple times. Sell that to me. You see what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
Sell it to me so I want to play it, because to the other fans or whatever, they're just going to happy that they have it on Switch or their Switch 2, or newer fans who are like, well, people swear by this game, maybe I'll try it, you know, kind of thing. Sell to me as well. Because also the other thing is, I know that this kind of goes a little bit to what Boomini was talking about. And Boomini, thank you so much for your $5 super chat. We so appreciate you here.
And your $2 super chat. We're going to get to both of those in a second.
Yes. I see that one too. Yes. Thank you so much.
And they're related to what we're talking about. So thanks, Boomini, for the easy transitions.
Wait a minute. Would they make Ocarina of Time look more like Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess, Breath of the Wild, or something like Xenoblade Chronicles? I'm not saying, or Elden Ring looking like Ocarina of Time remade. I'm not saying really that, because that's going to totally change the whole vibe of the game. Even if everything that you do in the game is the same. But I'm saying do a little bit more with it than only just make it HD or something of that nature. That's all I'm saying. But Zach made a really good point that it could just be so pretty that I will happily fork over $60. I just can't see myself doing that. But it should still exist because I want other people to play it.
Well, I forgot too. I meant to tie my 2 points together, and this one won't be as much of a rant as my last one. But my other point with that is not just could it be so pretty, but still completely have the same soul, because it's technically kind of like how you said Breath of the Wild is what the original Zelda was supposed to be. It's literally, this is the HD assets of what that game was. So it's literally what it was supposed to be. But on top of that, I mentioned how there was, levels that people were working on that maybe didn't get finished, or not maybe, that didn't get finished. Well, no, that maybe didn't get finished. There might be some finished levels that they couldn't fit on the cart. So HDify all that and then take all of the unfinished levels, unreleased zones and areas, and put those in too, and give us the full, back in the 90s, what you were trying to do, minus the technical limitations. I think that would be enough to sell you while keeping the game still technically a remaster and not so much a remake.
I like that. Nintendo, please hire Zach so he can oversee this project. And take it all with you.
All right. So let's move on to the super chats before we go ahead and move on to the Q&A. Thank you, Winnie. Did you guys answer this question already, or do we want to answer it?
Yeah, we just answered that.
Let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and give you my 2 cents on this question. So, because I understand, I understand where they're coming from. It's not complete to remake and to change the figures or how the world looks, but in a way, it's to remaster. It's to remaster, to bring it up to date, to make it look like, the game looks like it was made for the Nintendo Switch, not for a next generation system in the future. And I would say they would, if they do a remaster, they're gonna do like Metro Prime 4. They'll just change the assets, keep the form factor, keep the heights, keep the overall world, and just kind of update everything to make it a little rounder in the corners, not as round, just to keep the what it is. But they'll just kind of replace some assets and make it look prettier. And of course, work with the aspect ratio to make sure that it looks good on bigger TVs, resolution, all that stuff. They're gonna make. They're not remake is a different thing. Remake is just creating a completely new game and calling Ocarina of Time. The other one is an Elden Ring looking Ocarina. Yeah, this is next gen. This is next gen Ocarina of Time, right? Not that it's gonna look exactly like Ocarina of Time, like Elden Ring, but to answer this question, I actually looked up a video here so that you guys can see what she means here. Here we have the original version of Ocarina of Time. This is what will be a newer version. This is an Ocarina of Time made in Unreal Engine 5. Look at that beautiful world, and look at Link. It's still, this is the Deku Tree, as you can see in the original one, and this is the Deku Tree in the Unreal Engine.
Incredible.
Built by a fan. This is insane.
Is that Rowan Link?
No, this is Level Cap Gaming.
Oh, okay. Rowan
Isn't
Link.
it crazy? Rewind like 1 second. Like just hit your arrow to go back. Or actually, right here we could. So everything he's running on, that was real photos of wood.
Okay.
It's just I had no clue until I looked into the development of this more that these textures, I assumed they were painted and drawn,
So right here, this gives me Tecmo vibes. Look at the reflections on the bottom, and of course I love how everything looks. So this kind of Ocarina of Time, I would wait for Switch 2. Look at that. Look at how
for sure.
This is like a 1-to-1 remake, but with a gorgeous set of paint over it and a greater, more expansive world, but staying in theme with what it was, just totally bringing it up to the modern day cutting edge standards,
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if this was ripped from the cart and then converted to a step file just for faster, and then from there rebuilding what they need to rebuild. But yeah, because it is so 1-to-1. But I love that.
So let me just put it like this. Okay, so this I wouldn't be upset paying $60 for. I don't know if I would play the whole game, but it is beautiful because it's kind of like once you know what happens, it kind of loses a little bit of luster. But this is beautiful. So, but whatever Nintendo puts out there, I mean, I'm still gonna buy it. I just want to enjoy buying it. I don't want to begrudgingly pay $60 again for Ocarina of Time.
Yeah. So, thank you so much for that super chat and that question. Super chat questions, they add value to the podcast and become part of the conversation. We actually spend more time on them. And so let's see here. Lily, do we have any other questions? We have now entered the Q&A portion. So make sure if you want your answer question, go ahead and put it in there.
Yep, we do have 2 questions at the moment, and we have one from Carrie Johnson. Is kind of circling back to what we have been discussing for Ocarina of Time. Thank you very much for that question. How do you think they'll handle the controls, though? I did ask her if she was talking about the controls on the Ocarina of Time remake, if that is the case. And if anybody can follow up with it has been a very long time since I played the one from 3DS. I never actually owned it, by the way. I played it because I got it. A friend I borrow it, and that's the way I played it. Were we able to move the camera with the right joystick or no? I don't remember.
I actually that's the version I'm playing right now, the one that I'm stuck in.
Okay.
Was it with the C stick or was it with the right stick?
Aha, that's my question. Is it?
I'm trying
Are
to
we able to
remember.
move the camera around? And someone in the chat can also answer this question because I don't remember. The reason why I'm pointing this out is because I remember I was watching someone playing Ocarina of Time for the first time in the original for the Nintendo 64, and she came from Breath of the Wild being her first. You can imagine how difficult it was for her to move around because of the camera controls, because we know that the Nintendo 64 camera on Ocarina of Time and a lot of the 3D platformers or 3D games were a pain so bad. So that is my question. I don't remember, to be honest with you. And to answer that question, how do you guys think that they're going to be handling the controls if they do release it for the Switch?
Well, if they do release, we mean like if they release the same version for the Switch, that they can that could actually be an improvement since we have better software, better controllers, so we could actually get that 360 full view, or adjust your camera, or I'm thinking Nintendo 64. All I can think about is the little cloud with the little camera.
Yep.
That was the reason why you couldn't move that, because it was all in the point of view of the camera. Like the guy just filming Mario all over, the little Koopa guy. But if we do get a new one, I'm pretty sure that we'll get updated controllers and what do you call it? Quality of life improvements.
Yep.
Yes.
They come with every update. With every games.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's an easy yes. I say that's an easy yes.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree, but I really don't see them doing much with the controls other than making them smooth. So I don't think we're going to get like if this is what she means, I don't think we're going to get like a dedicated like jump button or anything of that nature. I think they're going to try to keep the original controls. It's just going to be much smoother.
All right, question number 2. We have a second question, right?
Yep, the second question is from Christopher. Here's the question. The Switch 2 is confirmed backward compatible.
Yeah.
This is great, but will they have 2 different versions of the latest games like Metroid Prime 4? Or will they just up-res the originals?
Now, this is a good question. You know why? Because Metroid Prime 4 is the only game that we don't know yet whether it is a dual release or it is just will move forward with Nintendo Switch. We have almost no information. All we know right now is that it's coming to Nintendo Switch, but because Nintendo Switch 2 is not yet announced, right? So when Nintendo Switch 2 comes along, we might find out that maybe there's a version for Nintendo Switch 2 and there's a version for Nintendo Switch. They're 2 different cartridges, right? We're going to get the cartridge for Nintendo Switch and one for Nintendo Switch 2. Of course, one of them is going to be 3D NAND, more powerful. The other one is of course less powerful. So that particular game is the only one we can say, there's a possibility that we'll get a dual release with that one. And for the rest, with AI upscaling with the NVIDIA chip, I think all of the games will get some type of boost. Some developers will take advantage of the hardware and issue an update to take advantage of the better resolutions, the upscaling, and everything like that. We know that that playtesting already had within the code embedded the option to go to 4K, right? So I think in Nintendo Switch they'll do the same thing. They'll give you an option whether you want this game to play in 4K or if you want 1080, and I think that'll be an option. But with Metroid Prime 4, it's interesting because it feels like a next gen game, right? It's a big, massive game, and so it's the only game that everyone is speculating. I think that's going to be like what Breath of the Wild was to Nintendo Switch. That dual, that kind of bridge on both consoles. So it's crazy because now we have backwards compatibility. But I still think because of how Metro Prime 4 looks and how it's going to play, and I still think we'll still have that upgraded version of it.
I do think I fully agree with you. I'm just adding a little context on myself. I do think they might try and push for Metroid Prime if you buy it digitally on the Switch, you can get the upscale version on the Switch too, like the more HD version. And so they might try to, because they're always trying to push their digital sales. I mean, look at the points you get if you buy a physical game versus if you buy digital. So I agree. I think it'll be, everything that you just said, but I also could see them straight up advertising. If you buy digital, you get the upgraded. It'll get upgraded when the Switch 2 releases if you play it on the Switch 2.
I mean, like the physical version, that'll be a selling point for them. Like if you buy the physical version for Switch 2, they'll upgrade it for free.
No, so if
Digital.
you were to buy Metroid Prime digitally, that when the Switch 2 comes out, because they don't want people to wait necessarily, that when the Switch 2 comes out, if you have it within the first 60 days of the system's release, you can upgrade it to a Switch 2 version of Metroid Prime.
Yeah, because we don't know yet whether Metroid Prime 4 will be out at the same time as Switch 2. So, if that's the case, we know we're getting two versions of it because it was already promoted for Nintendo Switch. So if it comes out, if it's a launch title for Nintendo Switch 2, we're getting off the back that Nintendo Switch 2 version. Whether Nintendo does the Sony route and gives you that ability to update, that's up to Nintendo. I don't know. I kind of feel that maybe that'll be something that Nintendo will offer with their Nintendo Switch Online membership. The ability to update your games or update your games to the 4K resolution or whatever for not for free because you're playing the membership. But I think Nintendo will tie it into NSO if it's what Sony did, giving your old games the ability to play a high resolution on the next gen system. I think NSO will be a big part of that. Nintendo's big on NSO. They're adding a lot of value. The DLC, for Mario Kart and other games with NSO, you can buy the DLC separately, and maybe they'll offer that, but then you can also get it for NSO. And like I said, we have a lot of 34 million NSO users right now. Crazy.
Yep.
I mean, like Lily, I just renewed mine because I didn't have it for the Nintendo Music, and then also too, I knew I was going to play Smash this week. I said it in the podcast last week, and it was like $3. That's such an easy, that's such an easy sell.
It is, man.
Yeah.
Good value.
And they keep throwing in there, like if you buy the Nintendo Switch Lite Hyrule Edition, you get a full year. The bundle that they announced for the holidays, they also throwing a 12-month in it. So they're gonna be pushing very hard for you to get it. They have the 7-day trial if you want to try it. And if you have 7 more people to go with you, then go with the family membership. It's very, very cheap if you pay for the whole year, and then you just split it with everybody. So they just pay their cut, and there you go. You have a full year of not only the Nintendo Switch Online, but the Nintendo Switch Online plus the expansion pack.
And for anyone who doesn't have it yet, I specifically was about to buy the expansion, but then I was like, wait, Black Friday's coming up in like 2 weeks. I'm like, all right, I'll just buy 1 month for myself right now, and then in 2 weeks I'll be able to get the year probably for like $30 or something.
Yeah. And the thing is, when you get the expansion pack, after you get the base model, they'll discount the red, like whatever what you already paid for. Plus the Black Friday deal. Something Paul would say: if you want to enjoy Nintendo to the fullest, have NSO. Okay, if you want to enjoy Nintendo to its fullest, like video games with NSO are a lot better, like those multiplayer ones, right? The DLCs, right? If you want to enjoy the library that Nintendo has online, not just the video games you buy, but the library they have on the basic side and on the expansion pack altogether, Nintendo's better with NSO. Right, and it's only getting better because now you got freaking music right here that you take with you on your phone. Where you can put your little headphones in there with the little dongle and stuff, and then just listen to it on the road. Man, that's just awesome. And the fact that Nintendo gave us music not on their platform, not on the Switch, but on our phones, we carry with us. right? Where we listen to music anyway. That was the most convenient way for music. A little app that gives you music, right? It's the best.
Yep.
It's the best way to enjoy Nintendo, and it's so
It's
yeah.
gonna get better.
And to help you out, because I make this post on X and social media platforms often, that the way to go is the family plan. Split it with 7 other buddies, and you're each paying just $4 a year for this, or the expansion pack. Each of you are only paying $10 a year. And then people say, though, yeah, but I don't have 7 friends. I don't have a few friends. Even if you have a friend or 2 friends, 3 ways, that's still cheaper than going solo. But guess what? If you're one of the 100 people here watching today, or one of the 50,000 people subscribed to Mike Odyssey's channel, guess what? You are probably a part of Mike Odyssey's Discord, which means that you could talk with like-minded friends even after this podcast is over, or some other time, and be like, hey, do you have this yet? Do you have this yet? Can I Venmo you? Can I send you a couple of bucks? And that's just advice. There's ways to make online people that, you're only dealing with a couple of bucks that you could form a friendship with, and there's your new friend, part of Mike's community. And I see you all talking with each other. A lot of familiar names all the time. So there's a way how to do it if you want to get in. That's like, you don't have a whole bunch of real life folks, go in that Discord. Just a little bit of advice, because yeah, it is better with it, and the value is tremendous. Maybe you've never played those Mario Kart 8 Deluxe 32 additional tracks, or is it 48? It was a lot. How many more tracks?
I thought it was 48.
Yeah, it's 48 tracks.
48.
I thought. I could be wrong still, but that's what I thought I remember.
It's a lot of tracks.
Unless if you bought it a la carte to own it permanently,
yeah,
it's quite cheap to just be renting it. But the rental rate is so affordable that it almost doesn't matter that you don't own it. That's kind of the thing. It's like, yeah, but I want to own my content. I want to buy it, own it. That's fine. But renting forever at such a low rate is kind of similar. You know what I mean? To owning it permanently.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but I am not a financial planner, but I am strongly against renting forever.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to my Tech Talk.
That's here by Rainbow Love.
Yes, it's a question. Thank you so much for sending it. Will Nintendo continue to tackle info to us via X or Twitter posts?
Trickle.
Or will they actually reveal the new console soon? Even a teaser? When will that happen?
I can answer that with all confidence. I believe the Godfather is sitting in his office with his petting his cat, just kind of with his phone on X, and he's like, you know what? I do what I want when I want, and I want to say yes. He's going to continue to give us information on Twitter. Whether it's new games, it's up to them. The next direct is only a couple of weeks away. I'll say 8 weeks away, February. Right? Not 8 weeks away. I'm exaggerating. February, right? Holiday season will pass in no time. It always passes very fast. January, the new year is coming. At any moment in January, we'll get that Nintendo Switch 2 trailer. Maybe we'll get it anytime. I really don't know. Nintendo's throw the rule book out. They're not the Nintendo from the past. Furukawa's in control now. He's the Godfather. He's just doing whatever he wants. I know I had Kid and Krista on their channel saying there's no way Nintendo will say anything right now. The next day Nintendo says something. It was hilarious, so that just tells you it's not the Nintendo from the past, it's the Nintendo from right now. And so anything can happen, Rainbow Love. Anything can happen. Nintendo, yes, they could go ahead and drop the trailer tomorrow. Actually, they can drop it right now. Actually, they can email me the trailer and then I can show it on my channel. So
no, wait, you get to download it with at least like 20 platinum Nintendo points.
That's another. That is another one. That is another one Nintendo can do too.
But I do think they're going to keep trickling like stuff, but it's not going to be about Switch 2. I think this was the big, calm down. You can still buy games for your loved ones for the holidays. It's going to be backwards compatible. Yeah. But I don't think that. But I think that they're going to, tease us with games and things like that. Well, not tease us. They're just going to keep giving us games as normal. And then next year it's just going to be like, we're just going to be sitting around here having our regular podcast and bam! Trailer drop. I mean, they'll announce it on Twitter, but then the trailer, they're going to say, "Hey, we're dropping the trailer right now."
Yeah.
I feel like on Twitter is it's the fastest way to go trending. That's the only way I see it. But they will always publish that. If it's a video, you'll find it on YouTube on their channel as well.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the way you're gonna find it.
To add to what Lily said, X is now the biggest platform in the world. Okay, the biggest platform in the world, and it gets more traction than anywhere else. So it makes sense. It makes this business sense wherever. Doesn't matter wherever you stand. I could care less wherever you stand. First thing, because I don't get into any of this like that. But business sense, it makes the best sense to drop something on the biggest platform in the world, right? And so I believe that's why Furukawa has been doing that. And just to ease everybody's mind, the only reason why we got this information was because the financial meeting. Okay. This information came out of the financial meeting. It's not that Nintendo's just giving us information. Before that, we did get the music ad. We got Alarmo. We got the Xenoblade Chronicles X, right? We got that. But the current information that we got regarding Nintendo Switch 2 was because it was brought up during the financial meeting. I don't see anything else happening for in the holiday season. Again, I could be wrong, but I think now Nintendo's going to focus on Nintendo, the holiday, and then in January we'll jump back into the frenzy of trailer to watch and Nintendo Switch 2 stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be a good wait,
Yep. We just received another new question from Carrie. Has Nintendo of America actually stated the Switch 2 will be backwards compatible, or it was only Nintendo of Japan?
It's Switch 2 is a worldwide system. It's not region locked. The Nintendo Switch is not region locked. So
but she's asking more like, if this announcement has been shared or mentioned by Nintendo of America. I guess that's
all right. So the reason why they didn't mention it is because the Nintendo of America is they're catered to America to the Americas, and when they did mention it, there was the election going on at the moment like that, and so they didn't want to kind of at least that account, right? To add to that, all of the bigger mentions have always come from the Japan one. Come from the Japan one. So you want to hear you want to follow their. It'll never come, like announcements like this from Furukawa and Miyamoto. Yeah, because they're located in Japan. So when they announced the Zelda movie, that was in the Japan one as well. There wasn't, Right. And so all the announcements will always be on Japan, but it relates to Nintendo worldwide.
Yep. Agree. That was our last question.
I like your cat. I like your cat.
Well, there is a membership by Joycey, by the way. Game Awards prediction for Nintendo? I have some.
Yes. Thank you, Joycey, for that one.
Thank you very much, Joycey.
That was a question, guys.
I'll answer it first.
No.
Oh, no?
You know what? Game Award predictions are very clear for me. And I would say this is hard because there's so many.
Lily said no.
I'm sorry. It's just I know that Nintendo is not going to be there on the Game Awards, to be honest, unless they're nominated.
Oh, that was your answer.
No, you didn't want to answer my question. I was like, okay,
no. No. What I mean is like it's not going to happen. Unfortunately, that's what I mean. Like, no, sorry, it wasn't.
No, that was your answer. That was the question. Yeah. I can let me pull something over quick because I can give you an answer. Because I think Nintendo will be present this year. Okay, the lineup for this year. Another recollection? No. Mario vs. Donkey Kong might make it to the family one. Versus Peach Showtime? I don't know. Endless Ocean? No. Paper Mario Thousand Your Door might make it into the lineup in the conversation. Luigi's Mansion? No. Nintendo World Championship? Nope. Emio might make it into the conversation because of the promotional thingy. Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom might make it into the conversation. A Mario Party Jamboree, family game of the year, maybe. Mario and Luigi Brothership, again. Fitness Boxing, no way. And that's the lineup for this year. That's the lineup for this year. So it's looking pretty bleak for Nintendo. But I see a couple of games making it into the conversation in certain areas, certain in certain categories, like family game of the year, multiplayer game of the year. Maybe Mario Party Jamboree is going to be in there.
How about most anticipated game of 2025? Metroid Prime 4 entering that,
In
and
the
that's
pocket.
where we get a Metroid Prime 4 Beyond trailer, because it's a first-person shooter, and a big portion of that Game Awards audience likes first-person shooters. So technically, it's not a first-person adventure, but it's one of Nintendo's more mature titles.
I agree.
It'll probably be rated T for teen. So the optimistic me, but not trying to get too hyped and then being disappointed me, is saying, I think a Metroid Prime 4 Beyond trailer is reasonable at the Game Awards. Optimistic / overly ambitious me says, dude, Nintendo uses a platform that's going to have 130 million people watching and show off the trailer for Nintendo Switch 2. But it's just too ambitious, too crazy, that though possible is improbable. But Metroid Prime 4 sits in that. I could see it because they've done it before with stuff like Bayonetta 2 announcement, Bayonetta 3 announcement, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, a T-rated game announcement. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, and then we also have a huge podcast coming up, the Game Awards. So the podcast before the Game Award podcast, we will dedicate the entire podcast to Game Award more predictions, and because at that time we'll know all the nominees, right? We'll know all the nominees. We can go over the list. We can make our predictions based on what's already nominated, and it's gonna be fun. Josie, thank you so much for that question, because I'm not looking forward more to that question before the podcast, before the actual.
Well, that wasn't. I don't think I worded it well. Paul got it. I wasn't talking about like predictions, like who's going to win what, because we don't know exactly who's nominated yet.
Yeah.
But I meant like what the predictions for Nintendo. Do you think Nintendo's going to show up with anything? I don't think. Paul actually took my entire idea, but I don't think they're going to.
Get out of my head, Paul. You're about to say Joycey.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to show up with the Switch 2 or anything. I could see them teasing it or even giving us a logo. But like Paul said, I completely agree that it's a better audience, I think, for a Metroid style game to hopefully pull in more fans. Because Metroid has a pretty good fan base, but I think that proposing it at the Game Awards, people could say, because people still like to call Nintendo, oh, that kiddie game or that kiddie console or whatever. It's like, yeah, it's a small console, but it has games for everybody. And I think Metroid is a game for everybody, but it looks like a game for older people.
Yeah.
It looks cool enough, if you will.
Yeah, Metroid Prime 4 will go well with all those Call of Duty 6, and all the other shooter games and all the other AAA games they're going to show. If they show
Metroid stands out still, which is what's really cool about it. Because I can tell that now Fortnite stands out to me because it's a little bit different. But Call of Duty, Halo, Destiny, they all run together for me. Warhammer, they all run together for me.
Yeah, but
I know what Metroid looks like.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
As a Nintendo fan, everybody knows like that. But I'm saying, as a person who's coming from outside Nintendo, PlayStation fans, Xbox fans, Metroid Prime 4 is the one that's going to call their attention the most, rather than Mario, Luigi, and so if they put that oh, that's from Nintendo, that's a shooter from Nintendo. What are they shooting at? I want to shoot at it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. So I think
some of those people might remember. Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine. Go ahead.
Some of those people might remember that a few years earlier, October 2021, Metroid Dread was in conversation, and it was a good enough game that it was part of the Game Awards.
I forgot what it was.
Contenders in that top 6 or so.
Yeah.
But I think Dread won something that year as well, too, didn't it?
It did win something. Not Game of the Year, but I don't know if it was like Nintendo Switch Game of the Year, Nintendo Game. I forgot what it was. Maybe it was Action Game of the Year.
It was. Yeah, you're right, Paul. Best Action Adventure in 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, the numbers god has spoken. The gamer numbers god has spoken.
All right. So Go ahead, Lily.
Oh, I was gonna ask Joyce's predictions because she's asking the question, but she does have several, right?
Oh, I see. Yes, I have some. Go ahead, Yossi.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's not too long of a list because it's gonna be something that I believe because we're under Furukawa's watch. We're under the Godfather Furukawa's watch now. So I don't see them bringing Switch because I think they should, but I don't see them doing that because the night's for the industry, and I feel like Nintendo is a bit considerate, but they also want all eyes on them as well at the same time. So I think the only thing that might be a little bit better or just as good as a bigger Metroid reveal or trailer is something Zelda, and the thing that's going to get everybody going is a Zelda movie announcement update, whatever the case may be, and that's what's going to keep everybody talking about Nintendo. We're not going to care if they win anything. It's like we got Zelda movie updates, so we're happy.
Yeah, I see that more as a possibility. They're going into production on January 5th, and into production, not pre-production, production, January 5th. So, I can see them doing an announcement of the cast. Maybe
they like their theatrical stuff. They do Zelda music. They had Iji Aonuma before. Imagine Dragons playing music together. So this kind of Zelda thing with some fog being thrown in there and people not sure, is this a game? What? Boom, boom. And out walks,
West Ball.
I think they do both.
It's too big.
Henry Cavill, boom, boom. And it's like, this is the cast. Oh, my gosh.
No, it'll be Aonuma, West Ball, and Miyamoto, because Miyamoto, Zelda was his baby.
Yeah.
So,
I think they'll show Zelda movie stuff, even if it's just the cast, and that they will announce when they'll announce the new system.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, fair.
Because you're gonna do one thing, and it's just like what, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, by the way, here's another.
I can see them doing that with Metroid. So they show like a bigger teaser of Metroid or whatever, and then we just see the Switch 2 logo, and then that's it. And they're just like, okay, good night, everybody. What? I think that'd be a good way to end it.
You want to close on a big, big game. It's always important. Some years have not closed on something that people were expecting. Like, really? That's what you chose? But I think, for us, there are definitely some games that we would rather close on than others. But
you remember when I don't think they opened with it, but it was towards the beginning when they revealed that Joker was coming to Smash, and the way they did it. Yeah. That was really a big. I'm not a Smash player. No shade, but I'm not a Smash player. But I thought that was perfect because it got everybody excited, even people who didn't play Persona or Smash like me. So I think I see them doing something of that nature, just to hey, keep us in the conversation because we're coming for your wallet next year.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put a period here or a comma because we'll continue this later on, or a semicolon or a
two dot. If anybody wants to chat with me about this stuff, I'm gonna be here.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and go over the cast so that they can tell you what they have going on and where you can find them. Starting with Zach. Go ahead, Zach.
Oh, cool. All right, so I am streaming on YouTube. Come next year, I'm going to start uploading content and not just streams.
Nice.
Filming a couple movies, one next month, one the month after, so that's pretty cool. Filming some short films in between that. You can find all of that here on YouTube at Zach Hendricks Media. You can find me everywhere at Zach Hendricks Media, except for Twitter/X, where I am Young Calf Zach. And then, of course, tonight and every Friday night after the Nintopics podcast, I am streaming Super Smash Bros. Ultimate with viewers. And so if anybody wants to play, anybody wants to keep these topics that we kind of ran out of time on and chat with me about them, I call it the post-pod party. And I don't know if we'll raid me. I don't know if you can raid on YouTube or if that's just a Twitch thing or whatever. But either way,
redirect, yes.
Redirect.
Yes.
But either way, whether we do that or not, it'll be Zach Hendricks Media on YouTube.
All right, thank you, Zach. And over to Paul Gale. Oh, sorry, the Gale Force Network.
Yeah, I'm changing my career to being a
meteorologist.
Meteorologist personality, bringing you the weather and news updates. And yeah, I'm on X and YouTube at Polygale Network. As far as anything new that I put up recently, I was just going over Nintendo financials, fiscal results, sales projections, all that good stuff. And yeah, nothing on the immediate horizon that I have planned, but that's where you can find me. That's my username at Polygale Network, and yeah, we mostly talk video game stuff.
Awesome. Thank you, Paul. Yeah, you can find him on X, on Twitter, on Facebook, on the moon sometimes. All right, Paul. Thank you, Paul.
He's in
And
your house.
over to Zelda's favorite auntie, Joycey J. Joycey, where can we find you?
I'm Joycey J. I'm on Twitter because
Twitter?
I'm just used to it. I didn't say it was a good idea, but
What
I'm
happened?
On Twitter.
We're seeing only Zach. I'm sorry.
Zach Pat.
Oh, it's just me.
Yeah, I think somebody accidentally pushed the button.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
at DJ Joycey on Twitter, you can always ask me Zelda stuff because I like Zelda
Yeah.
a whole lot.
And Octopath Traveler too, if you guys like that game too.
Yeah, that and Bayonetta and other stuff. Yeah, we can just talk about games. How about that?
Yeah. Thank you, Joycey. And of course, straight from Hyrule, Lilly Hyrule. Where can we find you? What you got going on this week?
Thank you. So you can find me on YouTube as Lilly Hyrule, and I'll be streaming Mario and Luigi Brothership on Sunday morning. So I have it already scheduled on my channel. I'll also be working on some of the other videos that I have there. Tomorrow, I'm releasing the unboxing for the Tears of the Kingdom soundtrack. So if you guys are interested in watching that one, it'll be live tomorrow morning. And yeah, I'm kind of active over there. I'm still not very sure exactly what I'm going to be doing with the streams, but for now, I think I'm sticking with Sunday mornings, but we shall see. And also, if you guys were listening to what Joycey's question was, and you guys can clip that, and then once we are at the Game Awards, you can just send me over that. Do you remember when you said no? There you go. So because I didn't want it to add a lot of predictions to it, but I am sorry for that. It wasn't my intention.
It's okay.
It wasn't the intention.
It was just your prediction.
No, it's I just want to be clear about that. So
I totally worded it, I think.
You guys have the power of sending me the clip and say, "Hey, do you remember when you said that? This is proof." Yeah.
No, she'll give us predictions next week. That doesn't count.
Probably. I don't know. But anyways, that's pretty much what I have going at the moment. But you can also find me everywhere. So Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You'll find me as Lilly Hyrule. So thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Lilly. And of course, you can find me here at the Odyssey Monday through Friday. I am working on Nintendo Live Report. We've had about 3 episodes so far. Doing pretty well. I mean, it's for first couple episodes, 2,000 viewers each, right? And then keep getting episodes viewers after throughout, because I'm streaming everywhere now. I'm streaming on I've added Facebook to the area, so we got some couple of viewers on Facebook. We have a group on Facebook that's watching, so shout out to the group on Facebook. And so yeah, Nintendo Live Report is a way of me trying to ease the load a little bit when it comes to my editing time, just because of my eyesight, trying to give myself some rest. But I've again gotten a lot of good feedback for the show. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. I'm going to continue doing it. It's going to be a mixture of videos and Nintendo Live Report. So I'm still thinking about whether I'll do Nintendo Live Report in the morning or afternoon, and then I'll do video in the morning or something like that. So I'm working on it. It'll continue. Thank you for your support. What else we got going on? Another reminder, the finale for season 3 is on December 12th. It's only, guess what? It's just a month away. Okay. The finale for the podcast, it's on December 12th. That is not a Friday, that's a Thursday, and it's the Game Awards. We are going to have a pajama party, a Nintendo pajama party. We're going to have some snacks, got a lot of digital codes to give out, and it's going to be a fun night. So put it on your calendar. December 12th, a Thursday night, we're going to have the Game Award pajama party and giveaway. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. And of course, the podcast below, thanks to Joycey for that question, we will have our predictions podcast for that Game Award, since we already have the nominee list, and that we can go over. We're going to break it down. We're going to do our predictions and everything, and maybe a bet here or two, who wins or not, who knows? Whoever loses wears a funny hat or something. I don't know. But we'll do that. Then getting ready for season 4.
Whoever can do this.
I can never do it.
I can't do that either.
Like, that's skill right there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I can just like
A one useless skill.
And then getting ready for season 4 of the Nintopics podcast in January. We'll take a little break for the holiday season. We spend time with our family and friends, and then come back in January for season 4, bigger, better, and awesomer for the podcast. So I think that's it. Am I forgetting something? There is a big announcement I am planning on doing on Twitter and on here. Let me look at the calendar. This next week. Next week. So by next week, I'll do it on here. I'll of course upload the video here. I have some big news to share with everyone on a big event you guys have witnessed in the past, and that's probably coming back in a bigger, better way. And so it's gonna be awesome. That is that. I think that's it, right? Did I haven't missed anything, right? Nothing much. No. All right.
I don't think so.
That is gonna do it for today's episode of Nintopics inside your house while you're sleeping and then using your phone and stuff. Let's get some music here going.
Ooh, loud. Very loud.
Okay then.
Oh, now it's gone.
Now it's gone. We just lost Mike.
We're gonna waltz.
Let's waltz on out of here.
It's all good. But yeah, and I see a couple people already are trickling in because I have this playing on my Smash stream, so that way I can switch right to them. And I see a couple people are already trickling in, so I'm excited to keep the Zelda conversation going.
Woohoo!
Mike, we can't hear you. I'm stalling.
Totally can't hear you.
Yeah. One time I saw a duck. That was pretty cool. Oh, I think he's back.
Oh yeah, there was a goose with him probably.
Check
Yeah.
in.
Oh,
Check.
there you are. He's in.
Hello.
We hear you.
back.
We
Welcome
hear
back,
you
Mike.
now.
Welcome back.
Hello. Okay. All right. So I already said never give up journey on, but I'll say it again. All right, guys. Before we let you go, we got 2 words we gotta let you know. First thing, you know what? You've been to the end of the weekend. I want you to have the best weekend of your life. Live your life to the fullest. Be happy. Be joyful. Life is good. And play video games. Never give up. And
Journey on.
Journey on, because the journey continues every day, and we have to do our best to do it, man. All right, bye, guys.
Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend. Goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Looking for the outro theme.
Looking for the outro.
Find
theme.
find the button. Press the button. Push the button.
Joyce
In the
has
stream,
to
Mike.
say-
I'm tired.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'll wait for that one first.
Here we go.
That's not it.